Yeah, they didn't even win that lawsuit, so I don't know if it would work.
I don't know.
It should.
It's weird.
That hawk too. I think she should try to merchandise.
She should try to merchandise.
I think she is merchandising.
She is merchandising it. It's just, I think she needs to copyright and name brand it or something. You know what I mean? Where she makes money for every time somebody uses it.
Right, yeah.
Well, she should definitely try to. I'm not saying she shouldn't try.
Because it's huge right now.
Fuck
yeah, dude. Like I just said, make your money. Mm-hmm. Get your fucking money made, dude.
Get that money while you've got that 15 minutes of fame.
No shit, dude.
The hawk to a flamethrower. Let's do it.
You could live the rest of your life off of that 15 minutes of fame. Shit.
That's what I said. I was like,
if you did it right, like you take that money and then you invest it wisely and do it.
Have you seen the full interview?
I have not seen the full interview. I've been
literally, it's just her and this other girl, and he's trying to get the other girl's number, and like she's running around like a jackass because I'm pretty sure she's half lit, and then she's like something about like favorite sex position or something like that. And she's like, well, you gotta talk to my girl about that. She comes over and she's like, she just randomly says like, you gotta kind of like hawk to her. You gotta spit on that thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the fuck?
It was one thing that you can do in bed to drive your man crazy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. She's like, oh, you gotta give him the old hawk to her and spit on that thing.
Oh, wow.
She definitely seemed like the type of person that I could probably have fun partying with. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, dude. She might get on your fucking nerves.
Here's what you got to do. Just give Cheryl like all of the drinks and just sit back and watch.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Just don't give her tequila.
Yeah.
Okay. She might actually try to spit on you.
No more. Okay, we're done. Just watch.
Well, you remember the college mom and daughter?
Oh,
Go football or whatever it was.
Sports, sports.
Yeah, go sports, where she pulls that fucking broccoli out of her pocket.
Yeah. I remember that.
Did you ever see that video?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a girl pulling broccoli out of her pocket.
Yeah, she's like, sports, go sports. Yeah, she loves sports and she loves broccoli.
Stupid. People are dumb. But then again, those are the type of people that those are the type of people that you
down.
But those are the type of people you look at the world and say, "Man, I'm glad I'm alive today." You know what I mean?
Just to see this dumb shit.
Yeah, because like they just like I don't know if they're being dumb or if they are dumb. Either way, they're putting a smile on my face.
There's so much shit in the world that you just shake your head and go, "Ugh, I want to live on another planet." And then some things that you just go, "Okay, you know what? That was
pretty fucking great.
That was good."
Yeah. Man. Anyway, welcome back. We are the Bonsai Movie Crew. It's weird how every week the crew changes.
Yeah, it's like musical
if you
chairs.
See, Jack grew up. He's older now, so that's good.
Full beard and everything.
Yep, grew a beard and everything, all in a week. He said, "Well, if it's the fly, I'm gonna have to grow up for that one." So here he is. He's all grown up again.
It's very mature.
Fusion.
Yeah, fusion. You fused Jack with a full-grown man. Like what we did was we just put Jack in the telepod with one of Jeremiah's beard hairs. And there you have it. Now we have full-grown Jack. Anyway, oh man, don't forget to check out our socials. I always got to say these every week. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Don't forget to check out Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And then don't forget to check out our Discord if you care to. Whatever. Let's move on. Oh, man.
You and Alec kill me on there with those trailers. Like,
man, I had a good one too.
It was so funny because he posted it and then you posted it. You're like, damn it!
Damn you, Alec! You beat me to it every time. That's all right. I got him on one today. It's that new trailer for. It's got Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans in it.
Red.
I think it's just called
Red something.
Red one.
A red one, yeah. And it's a Christmas movie with The Rock and J.K. Simmons, J.K. Simmons plays Santa Claus, like a kind of a jacked Santa Claus too. He's like, it looks pretty good though.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, it looks pretty funny, not because of The Rock though, but because of everybody else.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, The Rock's
he always plays the same guy.
I'm getting burnt out on him. Yeah, he's the same person in every fucking movie, so
Mm-hmm.
I can't lose a fight. Although he does get bitch smacked by Krampus. So that part was pretty funny in the trailer. Anyway, let's get into our creator profile this week. Actually, first, let's hold on. Let's ask Eric. What have you been doing, man? Where you been?
Oh man, so been busy with Allie's games. They've been keeping me pretty occupied. Pretty much just getting shit done around the house. Allie's games. Just been busy, man.
We just want to know why you ain't been here.
That's why I've been really fucking busy.
Well, you're letting our fans down, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Those are more important than your daughter.
We've been getting
okay?
phone
Yeah.
calls, emails.
Phone calls. Where the fuck is Eric? I want Eric back on the show or I'm quitting.
I'm going.
People are saying.
I was trying, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, we get it. Life happens, man. Life happens. Anyway, let's get into our creator profile this week. Can anybody guess who the fuck it is?
I'm going with Geena Davis.
You gonna write down our time? I shouldn't have to remind you, Jeremiah. You've been here long enough, man. Your probation period is over.
It was like 5:06, I think it was.
Huh?
5:06, I think it was.
Oh.
I just put 6 minutes because then he started talking about your life.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're really not in the creator profile, so we're back into this shit. He's right.
Oops.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Fuck it. Oh, man. Who wants to read Geena Davis?
I can if you want to.
You notice how I looked right at you whenever I said it?
Nope, I wasn't.
It's a really short one, though. It's not long enough. I couldn't fart.
Can you
I couldn't
fart?
I couldn't fart hardly anything. I couldn't find hardly anything
She's
on
pretty
her. Yeah,
low-key.
especially here recently. So
She don't like being around
yeah,
the public.
like it's literally like
I don't either.
a long paragraph. That's all it is.
I don't either.
I got it. I can do it.
And I didn't even find her biography. I had to look on IMDb. So
She's really smart.
Yes.
that's probably I know that. Yeah.
Oh, her and Jeff Goldblum,
Yeah.
actually.
Hold on. Oh, yes.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
Smart people. Who gives a shit?
As a child, Geena dreamed of being an actress. While in high school, she felt left out and had low self-esteem because at 6 feet, she was the tallest girl in school. After high school graduation, Geena entered New England College in New Hampshire and then transferred the next year to Boston University, where she majored in drama. In 1977, she left BU and moved to New York to start her career. Her career consisted of sales clerk and waitress. She worked at Ann Taylor, where she eventually rose to Saturday window mannequin while trying to get a job with a modeling agency. Eventually signed to the Zoli agency, she wound up as a model in the Victoria's Secret catalog. Ever vigilant Sidney Pollack was looking for new talent in the catalog when he spotted Geena and cast her in Tootsie. With good reviews, Geena moved to Los Angeles, where she was cast as Wendy in the short-lived but critically acclaimed television series Buffalo Bill with Dabney Coleman. A starter marriage to restaurant manager Richard Emilo dissolved around this time. Her next television appearance was in her series Sarah, which was also good but soon canceled. Geena then returned to the big screen in the below-average Transylvania 65000. Below average? That shit's funny.
I liked it.
Followed by... Huh?
I've
Oh,
never
it's
seen
good.
it.
It's the first one with her and Jeff Goldblum together.
Oh, yeah.
Followed by the successful Chevy Chase movie Fletch. From there on, she was on a roll with her second husband, Jeff Goldblum, in the horror remake The Fly. More successful were Tim Burton's dark comedy Beetlejuice and The Accidental Tourist. For the last film, she was the surprise winner of the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. More fun movies followed with The Flying Saucer in the Pool, Earth Girls Are Easy, and Everyone Loves a Clown, Quick Change with Bill Murray. The very successful Thelma and Louise, directed by Ridley Scott, again garnered nominations for the Academy Award.
So was she already married to Jeff Goldblum whenever they did
The Fly?
no, not The Fly. The Earth Girls Are Easy.
No, they didn't get married until after The Fly. They were dating. They started dating after Transylvania 65000, and then they were dating through
Fly.
The Fly, Earth Girls Are Easy.
So they were dating during that period, though.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. The very successful Thelma and Louise, directed by Ridley Scott, again garnered nominations for the Academy Award and Golden Globe. A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks and directed by Penny Marshall was the turning point as her next film. Hero was only average. Then she married Rennie Harlan, and they set up a production and development company called The Forge. Their first film was Speechless, which flopped at the box office. Undeterred, Rennie decided to film the big-budget Cutthroat Island, starring Geena as pirate leader Morgan, which also flopped. Geena has since starred in the thriller The Long Kiss Goodnight and played Eleanor Little in Stuart Little and Stuart Little 2. She also returned to TV headlining The Geena Davis Show and Commander-in-Chief. Both shows were canceled after one season, but she won a Golden Globe for the latter in 2008. After being missing from the big screen for some years, Geena ventured to Sydney, Australia, playing the foul-mouthed mother of Harry Cook and Harrison Gilbertson to shoot the dark comedy Accidents Happen in 2009. And that's all they wrote.
Hold on to a second. Everybody's favorite Geena Davis movie or project, whatever.
I'll probably say Beetlejuice is mine.
I was going to say Beetlejuice, but after rewatching this, I'm going with The Fly. Her acting in this was stellar.
She was really good in this movie.
She broke my heart a few times.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard for me because I really like A League of Their Own, and I really like The Fly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about League of Their Own. That was definitely mine. I'm sorry.
I think I'm gonna go with The Long Kiss Goodnight though, because I love seeing her as a badass. So it's pretty awesome in that. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason though, because she's such a badass in that movie.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that though, it'd probably be a toss up between A League of Their Own and The Fly.
Yeah, I completely forgot about League of Their Own. So, yeah, I would have to change mine to be A League of Their Own.
And she's pretty great in A League of Their Own, too. So, A League of Their Own? Yep. All right. Well, that was fast. We're only 12 minutes in, and
You said you like them short.
Short and stumpy.
Oh, my.
Oh, this guy's playing with his bike outside.
Good times.
Always something. Anyway. Oh, man. Let's move on here.
We should, come up with something for on Tuesdays when he pisses us off. Something that we could do.
You need to just, hook up a button.
Yeah, he couldn't connect to us. It's just, a button that we could, throw eggs down from somewhere that he wouldn't know where they were coming from or something. I don't know.
Eggs are expensive, though.
Yeah, fuck that.
We could all pitch.
You need to get the sea horns.
And,
put it
air
right
horns.
there. The big air horn on
the big air horns.
The big boats. Put it right there on the side of your house and just put a button. So,
yeah. Oh my god.
But we hide it somewhere where he doesn't know where it's coming
where
from.
Where the fuck is that coming from?
Behind a bush or something.
Behind a bush.
I think you put it up high where
he's pretty hyperactive. He might if we did that, he'd probably be over there trying to fight the bush.
At least put a video camera for it.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. We could have footage of that shit. That would just be so funny. See your neighbor what the fuck?
He's just beating the shit out of a bush. What the fuck are you doing, man? That's my bush.
Is this your fucking bush? Are you king of the motherfucking forest?
That's one of the best parts of that fucking movie.
It was. I had to rewind that part so many damn times. I was so fucking laughing.
That's one of Jamie Kennedy's best moments.
Yes.
One of his best moments.
This is a bush. Nice pubes.
Oh, shit.
There's one we should throw in the box.
Harold and Kumar goes to White Case.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get into what everybody's been watching.
What the hell have you been watching?
Fuck it. Let's start with Eric. This is probably going to take a whole month.
No, because I'm not going to jot off everything I've watched. I'm just going to name a few things.
Vikings and pirates.
No, not this time. I did watch a documentary on Greek mythology, though. That was pretty neat. Watched that. Watched The Animal. Just watched the new Inside Out with the kids Saturday.
Inside Out 2?
Yes.
Oh. You said the new Inside Out,
yeah.
They made
It's the new one.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, it's a new one.
I'd understand if there was like
there's only
6
one
of them.
new
Like,
one.
I know what number this one is.
Yeah, it's the second one. What else did I watch?
I'll let you handle that one.
What?
Something we got on our phones.
It go beep beep.
Mm-hmm.
And some little bit of MythBusters. That's about it. I mean, not much. Said I really haven't had time to sit down and watch a lot of shit. So
I'm surprised you're here today, honestly.
no, I'm back. Games are done.
Madison's had games all. I think I've went to like 3 or 4 of them. She had a game yesterday. I was like, nah, I'm not going. She's like, yeah, it's my last game. That's the only reason I'm going. I was like, all right, well, have fun.
Enjoy.
Yeah, and then last week you didn't go to either of them because it was just too fucking hot.
No doubt.
So I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying inside in my air
Last
conditioning.
week sucked.
It was terrible.
We went Tuesday and was Monday. What the fuck days was it? Monday, Wednesday?
I think so.
I had something going on Tuesday. What the fuck did I do Tuesday?
When
I
you weren't
can't
here, I
remember.
fucking know that.
I know.
It was
Kendra's
It was
Oh,
your
it's
wife's
Kendra's
birthday.
Yeah, Kendra's
Yeah.
birthday.
Oh shit. Well, I'll edit that out.
No, that's fine. I just forgot what the actual
I know
day
it's fine
was.
because she don't listen to our podcast.
She does.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she corrects me. She's like, you need to stop mumbling so damn much.
In that case, Kendra, I fucking told him, dude.
I'm making a TikTok out of that.
Oh, that's all right.
Karen, what'd you watch this week?
Family Guy. Kiss the Girls, Black Sheep.
Kiss the Girls in Black Sheep.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a bad porno.
It does.
Kissing the girls in the black sheep.
Kiss the Girls in Black Sheep.
I said it.
No, you
I didn't say every
You said-
single
you
syllable,
said-
but I basically said it, yeah.
What'd you say?
Friday the 13th, 4 and 5.
Oh, you rewatched some of them, huh?
Your fucking nephew.
Jack.
Huh.
It's Jack.
He's playing the video game, so now he wants to watch all the fucking movies.
She can blame it on him.
Was
all
he
she
burnt
wants.
out on Killer Clowns
And
already?
why
No, he's,
are you
he's
so
still in
obsessed
it.
with those movies?
I'm not obsessed with the movies. I just like the killing.
That's the dumb reason.
Half the time he's not even pointing the knife in the right
Yeah.
direction.
When it comes to a killer, I like how brutal Jason is compared to
Nah.
somebody that uses magical powers and
Like in
dreams,
the
okay?
fifth one, fucking slit throat, just looked like somebody just went like this with a tube of lipstick.
That is kind of a.
It was
That's
pretty
kinda cheap,
shitty,
yeah.
but you know what? It's my kind of shitty.
That's fine. Hey, everybody, I don't want to hear it out of you two.
No, I'm,
You guys watch some of the worst fucking movies.
Exactly.
Like what?
but they're meant
Just-
to be bad.
That's true. Damn, she beat my argument.
This is an entire franchise that is beloved. And
It's the brutality of Jason.
You remember the first movie when Jason wasn't the killer,
Yeah.
and then when they rebooted the franchise with the
That
fifth
was
one,
that was pretty bad.
Jason wasn't the killer again. Weird.
Weird.
I think this, and I will say that with Friday the 13th, I wish that they would remake them and do them justice.
The new remakes,
the
newest.
first remake was good.
Yes, I
with
enjoyed
Jared
the shit out of
Padalecki,
it.
that was good,
There was only one.
and they need to do the rest of them.
Yes.
Oh
that-
yeah,
just
the
like that.
remake.
Yeah, that was
bad. I
really
did enjoy
good.
that one.
Yeah.
They need to do the rest of them and do them justice because
Make it
it's
grittier.
a problem.
It's
I know.
like what we talked about that era,
The plots and
Like,
stuff in those
those
movies,
They're
is-
awful.
it's- yeah,
like
But
remakes. You know,
for
But
me-
I guess that's
Last
my
House on the
problem with
Left,
it is that
Yeah.
because
and,
like, it's
Friday
such a
the 13th
beloved
was only a couple
franchise.
years away from that.
and like
Yeah.
it just goes to
That was an
like,
Anchor Bay
show
movie.
like the mother's love for the child and all that stuff. But let's
Why do we waste so much time of our
she brought it
podcast
up.
Because
I'm
talking
going to
every
debate
time-
it.
Friday the 13th?
She brought it up, so I'm debating now.
well, you're
That's
the one
my-
talking
my-
about
my
you know
show.
we're so like quick.
I know, but I don't want to spend this time talking about Friday the 13th. either. Honestly, I don't care about that franchise that much.
I don't
And
either.
But for
they
me-
don't either.
But you know what? It's for me. It's Jason's killings.
And he hasn't been here
He's-
for it
he's-
either.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's brutal as shit when it comes to killing people.
It's fun. It's been
So
pretty
that's why I
nice
like
though.
it.
Without Eric here, we can bash the fuck out of that series, and there's nobody here
Hey.
to argue with us,
Hey.
The only thing that
except for Jack a little bit.
the only thing that I feel like is that because
What's
it's such
worse? What's worse? Texas Chainsaw or Friday the 13th?
Friday the 13th.
Texas Chainsaw gets better
yeah,
as it goes.
yeah,
Those movies get better.
yeah. And my thing
They
is
didn't
that
get
because
better
it's,
until the remakes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
the Jason remake.
my only thing is like it's such a beloved franchise, and so many people love it so dearly, and why? And so they need to go back. They need to remake these things, and they need to do it justice.
Dude fucking
So that it makes
spears
sense.
a dude through a bed and then fucking breaks his body in half. Come on
Yeah,
now.
in like every movie.
So?
But he's only 9 when he died, or 12, or
Yeah,
some shit, and
yeah.
he's like 8 feet tall. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Mutations from a lake. I don't know. Okay.
You make the most sense, and you weren't even writing the plots. That's the most coherent one I've heard.
Mutations from the lake.
There you
They
go.
were
There it
dumping
is.
toxic waste
Yes.
in the
Yeah,
lake.
that's what it was. All right. Thank you for explaining
Somebody
it.
turned into a
Somebody
can.
made it. Somebody explained it to me finally.
Yeah.
One of the counselors turned into a can also.
Huh?
A talking can.
A talking can.
No, that was in.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah.
He was a can of mixed vegetables.
Yes.
Oh my god.
You ever seen that?
No, not for a long
And
fucking time.
Stabler humps a fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been so long
From
since I've seen it.
SVU.
I've only seen it once.
It's
Christopher
funny.
Maloney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's funny.
Anyway, is that all you watched?
Yep.
What about you? Is it the same
Same
thing?
thing.
Okay. So I didn't watch much this week.
Beat people's sleeping
What's
bags.
new? me
10
and
is
Jackson
definitely
are
the best
still
one.
powering it through Dragon Ball.
Is it still weird?
Is it getting?
It's better
Do what?
than it was for the first like 10
Dragon Ball.
episodes.
The original
So
Dragon
you
Ball.
did. You were
Oh,
here for
very
it.
There's
good.
a lot
So
of pervy shit going
Oh,
on.
yeah,
there.
big time.
at the beginning,
With like Master Roshi and shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's so pervy with him. And he's still pervy here and there, but now they've finally gotten like to the martial arts tournament.
Yeah.
And it's a lot less of that. Like,
It's more into the martial arts than the
yeah,
perviness,
which
but
is
man,
nice. I'm like, because honestly, Master Roshi until Dragon Ball Super is really fucking pervy. But at some point in Dragon Ball Super, before the battle of the universe or whatever,
Yeah.
he
He's
wards
still
off
turned
women.
pervy.
He wards off women, so he can become the
A
best
better fighter.
fighter that he can be.
Until he
Because
fights
he
all the
says that
women
his
in the...
only weakness is women or whatever, and so
young women apparently.
yeah. So now,
Even aliens. No, but, he don't care.
Mm-mm.
Which series
No.
had the fucking cat in it? It was like Beerus. Is that his name?
Oh,
He was like a Siamese.
Oh,
looking
you mean
cat.
like the
The God
Egyptian
of
looking dude?
Destruction?
Yeah.
That's Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
Super? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's Beerus.
Yeah.
He's like the god of destruction for
Is that
universe.
Wow.
We're universe 7,
Something like that.
something like that.
I don't know if it was an actual thing or if it was just like a meme somebody made. But is there a scene in there where he explains about how he died and he didn't have to take care of his fucking kids anymore?
No.
Nah.
Yeah. Okay. I seen
That's
something.
probably a meme.
Are you talking about Beerus?
No, not Beerus. It was Goku, I think.
Yeah, that was a meme.
Oh, that's a meme.
Gohan. Somebody died.
Goku.
It
Goku
was a
dies
meme.
a lot.
yeah.
Somebody, whoever died, and then he said
Like,
he
he-
didn't have to be a father anymore because he dies.
No, he leaves on purpose to go and fight, hoping that he'll die, so he doesn't have to take care of his kids anymore. Like he's
Yeah.
not a good father. It's a
Oh,
whole
that's-
thing.
Well, hell, they say Piccolo is a better father to Gohan than he was.
Because only
Yeah.
because Piccolo trained
Yeah.
Gohan for the first. He was his first trainer.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to be trained and blah blah blah. Like the whole series was supposed to be like to launch Gohan
To a
into
different path.
into that whole. He was the main hero of the show,
Yeah.
and Goku was supposed to die.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
But
a
then
lead
there were
up.
people were like, "No, we love Goku. Don't kill him." So they brought Goku back,
Yeah.
Goku's kind of a dick.
and they kind of left Gohan in the dust. But
And he
this
got weak as shit.
recently, though, they've really
Up to his...
upped Gohan and like powered him up and shit. And
Which I'm
it's
kind of
pretty
happy
awesome.
about.
Yeah, the newest movie that came out with was Dragon Ball Superhero,
Something like that.
and it's awesome. It's a great fucking movie. It's really entertaining, and it's all about Piccolo and Gohan, pretty much.
And how Gohan surpasses
Yeah, Goku and Vegeta's only in it for like a total of like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
So
Are they
supposedly,
having a barbecue.
supposedly Gohan...
they were on another planet. They were off world training
Training.
with Beerus and all them, and Brawly and all that. But it was really good. It was really entertaining.
Yeah,
And the
supposedly...
animation is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, supposedly Gohan surpassed Goku and Vegeta.
That's what they say,
Yeah.
but like the last movie, the one before that, Dragon Ball Super Brawly, the animation in that was
Was
fucking
phenomenal.
amazing. That movie was fucking awesome. me and the kids, me and Jackson especially, have watched that movie probably a fucking dozen times because we love the animation in that movie. I do anyway. He just loves it because of all the fighting.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. It's an awesome movie.
You remember how the old Dragon Ball Z shows would like have all the old rock, mid '90s rock playing during the fights? That was badass.
Like Jesus Christ.
Like Disturbed
It went
was
heavy,
in there.
too, like-
Yeah, there was some Disturbed in there.
It was heavy. Anyway, I watched that. I've been watching that, and then we watched the newest episode of The Boys. The show's kind of. I know this show talks a lot on political sides, or not political, but like social commentary and things like that. But this one has been like very fucking political, with like, I don't know what they think. I think they perceive as left and right, and you got your conservatives and your Republic or your liberals, and it's very heavy-handed with that stuff this season, and it's kind of boring. It's still got some of its shock factor, but this might be the worst season so far. So far, anyway, because I'm just like I still like it. It's still good, but I'm still like, ugh. Like,
I hate it when they.
I don't like the political stuff, man. Leave it
No.
out of my fucking entertainment, man. So,
I think I told you that we kind of stopped watching some stuff back in the day, like when the election and stuff was going on because of that.
you get tired of seeing it, man. You get tired of people trying to
Push
their
agenda.
ideas and things like that in your face. And
Well, we were watching Sunny back when that was going on too. Sunny had just come out with a new season, and there was an episode where it was like very heavy-handed in the episode, and we were like, "Not you too." And
That was
then,
the first
and,
episode
yeah,
of one of the seasons.
yeah, and that we were like, "Not you too."
what
and then
season was it?
I don't remember.
It was wow, what are they up to now?
I don't remember.
They're up to like season 15 or something, aren't they?
So it would have been like 10 or 9
10 or 11,
something. Yeah,
maybe.
something like that.
Hmm.
But we were like, "Not you too," but the end is they weren't.
Oh.
So like the whole season or the whole episode, we were like, and then the end, we're like, "You got us, you got us."
I don't mind that, but this season so far has been very much that, and I'm like, God damn it. So I'm not very happy with this season so far. Like a lot of it's cool and fun, and a lot of it's still like Homelander still like has me on the edge of my seat all the time because who's he gonna fucking kill next? You never know
What's
what he's
he
gonna
gonna
do. Yeah, because he's a pure psychopath. I don't know. And then we watched that movie on Netflix, Trigger Warning, the one with Jessica Alba.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, that was the one that.
That was the one
somebody
that I posted
Yeah.
that the lead singer of OTEP had wrote in the short story,
Yeah.
and I guess one of the writers had stolen her story, or Netflix had stolen it or something. And the reason why she knew that was because it's the same story, it has the same. They even kept her main character, her
and they
name.
kept like the setting and
Something like that, yeah. And they changed some things about it, but she said she was pretty pissed off because they had stolen her story. But to be honest with you, it's not that good of a movie, so I wouldn't be all that upset about it.
Netflix is kind of.
Well, it's not even that it's a predictable movie or anything. Like the story itself is fine, but like
The way they
it's
directed
choppy, it's clunky. The storytelling in it is clunky, and I'm like, and it's not even. And Jessica Alba's fine; she does a great job. She actually sells it as like this badass bitch. You know what I mean? But it's so boring and drug out. Like it's an hour and 45 minutes. It should have been an hour and like 15 or 20 minutes.
So
It feels so long.
the singer's probably more pissed off that they took
They
her
fucked up her
story,
story.
and they tore
No,
it
she hasn't
apart.
even watched it. She said she refuses to watch the movie. She said I won't be watching the movie, and she already canceled her. She's like, I canceled my Netflix account a long time ago. She said I won't give them any more of my money or time, and I don't blame her. I mean, and she actually, it's got her so frustrated that she said I'm beginning to rethink her art. She said I'm beginning to rethink my art and where I stand with it, and if I even want to do art anymore. She goes, because that's messed up that somebody can just steal your shit from you like that. I'm like, yeah. I was like, welcome to the fucking world we live in, where anything on the internet, anybody can just pick it up and copy it and
especially
post
if you
it as
don't have
their
a
own.
copyright of it.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but that's the world we live in. You know, where shit is easily stolen on the internet. But the movie itself could have been better. There were some parts in it that I was like, oh, how dumb. Like some of the effects. But then there were a lot of parts in it where I was like, oh, that was a good effect. But like the story itself was just so choppy and clunky. The editing was clunky. It had a few good characters in it that I really liked. Jessica Alba's character was really good. I thought she was great, and it was nice to see her in a movie again because I don't know when the last time I saw her in anything.
Yeah.
Her and a couple of the main characters were fine. What was his name? Michael. He was in 16 Candles and shit like that. He was in Edward Scissorhands. What's his name?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall, yeah. He's in it as the main bad guy, essentially. But it's not bad. It's okay. The Rotten Tomato score is like at 29%.
Yeah, I seen.
That's where That's about where I'd put it.
An article
about
earlier
30%.
that was sitting in the low 20s.
Yeah, it's not something I'd ever waste my time on watching again. I'm just disappointed because I feel like they wasted a lot of money and a good couple of actors on a movie that could have been a lot better.
I feel like she might be just sitting back and smiling then about it, kind of like,
Well, that's what people are saying too. Like, oh man, the movie would have been better. Jessica Alba was great, but the movie was just dog shit. And she was great in the movie, and I thought she did fine. But then some of the actors and stuff just weren't there for it. You know what I mean? Like they were just like you could
phoning
tell.
it in.
Not even that they were phoning it in; they just weren't good actors.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was dog shit. It was wasting my time. So, if I had to rate it, I'd give it a 3.
Have you ever seen the abridged version of Dragon Ball?
No, everybody keeps telling me to watch it.
Oh, you need to watch it. Oh,
It's pretty funny.
It's fucking hilarious. There's when Cooler fights Vegeta and Goku, the same Meta Cooler or whatever, when he's metal.
I don't think that's in Dragon Ball Z.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure that's Dragon Ball GT or some shit.
I don't remember.
People talk about Dragon Ball Z. I was like, Cooler's not even in Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball Z.
I thought he was, but anyways,
No.
there's a part where he like kicks Vegeta.
He might be in like a Dragon Ball Z movie of some kind.
Yeah,
but those aren't canon to the series.
Well, he kicks Vegeta in the nuts like multiple times, and like Vegeta's like, "Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?" Stuff like that. And then it goes to a cutscene where Goku's fighting Broly, and Broly punches him in the dick, and then Vegeta looks at Goku. He's like, "Not so funny now, is it?" There's a lot of shit in that abridged version. It's fucking hilarious.
I think that's all I watched this week, though. I don't think I really watched anything else. I started playing Kingdom Hearts again. Because I bought the entire series on Steam for the it was on sale because they just put it on Steam for like $70. So I bought that shit because it comes with all 3 of the games or whatever, the whole series. So I'm like, yeah. So I started over on 1, and I'm kind of regretting it because I've beat 1 several times. And I should just jump to 2 because I think I've only beaten. I don't even know if I've even beaten 2. I know I've gotten most of the way through 2. And I don't know if I ever beat it, though. And I'm kind of like regretting starting 1 because it takes 4 fucking ever to get through. And I'm playing it on normal. Told my brother, I said, I should have just played it on easy and been done with it. So I could just run right through the fucking game. Because I don't want to go to 2 without playing 1. And I've never played 3, so. But that's what I've been doing. If you guys know what Kingdom Hearts is, it's like a mixture of Disney and Final Fantasy. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. That's not what it's like. That's what it is. It's
Same
got
game.
Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters in it.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna play 1, 2, and 3?
I'm gonna play. So the series the whole thing came with 1.5 and 2.5, and then it's got all the little games that were out for like Game Boy Advance and all that shit. Yeah. I'm not going to play those. I'm going to play 1.5, 2.5, and then there's a 2.8 after.
It's a final mix.
Yeah, it's like a final mix, and then there's 3. So I'm going to play through all those. I don't think 2.8 is that long. I think my brother said that it's just mostly cinematic shit, so I don't think there's much to it. I don't know how much is there. I've never played 2.8, whatever it is. So I'll play 1.5 and 2.5, and then I'm going to go into 2.8, and then I'll play 3.
Yeah, I got everything on PS4 except for part 3.
that's what so I've got that on my PS5. I've got the bundle that comes with all the 1.5 through 2.5 or whatever. I've got all that. That's the same bundle. You get that exact same thing in the Steam package. But whenever you buy the Steam package, like if you buy them all together, you get that set plus the 2.8 and 3. But you can go in and just individually buy the 1.5, 2.5 set that comes with all those games in it. So I bought them all because I'm like, it's on my Steam. Like, I don't ever play on my PlayStation anymore, so I always just play on my computer. I don't even know why I have a PlayStation anymore. I guess because we watch Netflix on it and watch Blu-rays. So
it's a streaming machine now.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what it is. Well, I can't say it. Jackson still plays on my PlayStation. He plays Fortnite on it, and he was playing Dragon Ball Z, the game or whatever. Dragon Ball. What the fuck is that game? Fighter Z or whatever, which is a fun fighting game. He's playing on it last night, and every once in a while I'll play other games on there, but then I have to go through and delete them because he's taking up too much storage space. And yeah. And then today I came home and he was playing, or yesterday I came home and he was playing
Sound
Minecraft.
Familiar?
Yeah, we had that conversation last week with grown-up Jack.
Well,
little kid.
Well, little kid.
Little kid Jack.
Not grown-up Jack.
Anyway, that's all I watched. If that's it, let's move on here. Let's get into our goddamn movie.
Let's talk about the movie.
All right. So this week we watched The Fly from 1986. Karen,
We did.
give us that plot synopsis.
Sure enough. When Seth Brundle makes a huge scientific and technological breakthrough in teleportation, he decides to test it on himself. Unbeknownst to him, a common housefly manages to get inside the device and the two become one. 1 hour and 36 minutes, rated R. Jeff Goldblum as Seth Brundle, Geena Davis as Veronica. She's got a weird last name. John Getz as Stathis Borans. And that's as far as I'm going.
That's pretty much all that's in the movie.
Yeah.
Those three people are pretty much the only, and then the hooker.
It's so interesting because you have 3 people in one room 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a very, and it's funny because like the only real setting of this movie is his apartment, which is a great setting. Don't get me wrong, but it's not even an apartment really. I guess it's more of like a
loft
in a factory or some shit. I don't
Well,
know.
they like in New York they'll do that a lot of times, but usually they'll have like some renovations, but they'll take old warehouses and stuff and they'll turn them into apartments. Usually they'll do some renovations, but there's also people that will actually go and buy places like that, and they'll just take one piece of it, and they'll do something like what he did.
Kind of like what they did in Saw.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the doctor's apartment or whatever. Anyway, we're going to spoil the shit out of this movie, and I hope you guys have seen it. Because if not, then, well, I'm sorry. Too bad. You'll have to just go watch the movie.
Oh, we were supposed to watch it? I thought we were supposed to read about it.
You got the cliff notes?
Yeah, I got the cliff notes.
Let's go around the table. Would you watch? Would you recommend? Let's start with Jeremiah.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. I'm going to say yes and yes, too. This movie's fucking amazing.
Yes and yes.
He's going to come back and be a dick, everybody.
Oh, just for that, I will be a dick now.
It's sharp.
Just calm down. Yes and yes. Just
Took you
wanted,
long enough
He just wanted to make us all
work
like
up the suspense.
yeah.
He wanted all of us to be like, motherfucker.
I'll stab you.
Well, fuck you up.
I'll throw this drink at you. I got another one under my table.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
All right.
See, he's quick with them. I'm like,
That's because we have no idea where the
I know what number 1 is right off the bat. So
yeah. All right. Seth Brundle, played by Jeff Goldblum, a brilliant but eccentric scientist, meets Veronica Quaife.
I know, it's weird, right?
Quaife?
Is it Quaife?
I think it's Quaife.
Wait.
Okay.
Queef.
Played by Geena Davis.
He might as well have been playing himself, really.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Anyway.
mean, he was, wasn't he?
Right.
Right. A journalist for Particle Magazine at a Meet the Press event held by Bartok Science Industries, the company that provides funding for Brundle's work. Seth shows Veronica a project that will change the world, a set of telepods that allow instantaneous teleportation of an object from one pod to another. Veronica eventually agrees to document Seth's work, although... Is the wall cool? Oh, you're touching. I was just like, he likes the wall.
No, I'm trying to crack my back.
Oh, I gotcha.
I liked how he called them telepods, and then she still didn't understand that they were teleporting things.
Yeah.
It had to be explained.
And she works for a science magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Particle.
Yeah.
Like he said telepods, and then she's like,
What do they do?
Yeah, what do they do? And I'm like,
You work for a science magazine.
It was funny to me when she called them designer phone booths. So
Designer
that was
phone
kind of
booths, yeah.
funny.
That was pretty funny. Shit. Get off my...
Oh, when he said he thinks you're a con man, and he was like, excellent.
Yeah. There were a few moments in this movie that I'm like, I kind of made me giggle a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the other part that made me laugh out loud was when he was like, I forgot to tell you I live with my mother too.
Yeah, that shit was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. This is my mother.
Yeah, I live with my mother too.
Veronica eventually agrees to document Seth's work, although telephones can transport inanimate objects. What? Although telephones can transport inanimate objects perfectly, they do not work correctly on living things.
Yeah, he said that in the movie.
Telepods, they said telephones, I think.
Yeah, he said telephones, although telephones can transport inanimate objects.
No,
Yeah, he was talking about the
screw-up
telepods.
thing.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
messed
that's
up.
a screw up. That's a typo. On living things, as is horrifically demonstrated with when a live baboon is turned inside
Probably
out during an
autocorrected him.
experiment.
Technically, it wouldn't be wrong since, they're nice designer phone booths.
Right,
Right.
right.
Well, I guarantee what was is the autocorrect.
Yeah, autocorrect.
Probably.
Perforate your shit.
They do not work correctly on living things, as horrifically demonstrated when a live baboon is turned inside out during an experiment. When Seth and Veronica
Such
began
a
a
sad
romantic,
scene, too.
yeah,
It's
it is.
like,
Yeah.
"Aw."
Seth and Veronica
baboon.
begin a romantic relationship, and their first sexual
monkey.
encounter inspires Seth, who sets about successfully reprogramming the telepod computer to cope with living flesh. Yeah. One magic word. Cheeseburger. Yeah, you're definitely Jeff Goldblum.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Seth,
Thinks you're a con man. Excellent.
excellent. Then Brundlefly.
He's like ranting to the monkey when he's all jealous. Like he's sitting there ranting and you think he's just talking to himself, and then he shows the chair and there's the monkey sitting there listening to him.
And then he's like swatting at that fly. It's so funny watching that monkey swat at the fly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
What happened to that monkey?
probably
The other
well, they
one?
said he was going to be sent out for testing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure he did send him out.
Yeah, because he was gone after a while.
Mm-hmm. He fucking jetted. He was probably like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Dude's nuts.
Dude spitting on everything.
Yeah.
You remember the time he chose to be the top scientist in his field?
What?
The SNL skit with Harry Carey. He asked him if he would want mad cow disease or be top
Scientist in his field.
He's
In this movie, he chose Mad Cow.
It's like top scientist.
You never saw that?
No.
The Harry
There's
Carey
there's
skit.
an SNL skit where it's
I think we talked about this.
Yeah, it's Will Ferrell and Jeff Goldblum. It's the
Yeah.
only time I've ever seen him break. And he's Will Ferrell is Harry Carey, and Jeff Goldblum is playing a scientist. And there's one part where Harry Carey is like, if you could choose between Mad Cow,
Is that the one where he's like shaking like this?
yeah, he's like shaking. And
Hey!
yeah,
Hey! Hi!
Yeah. He's like, if you could have Mad Cow or be the top scientist in your field, which would you choose? And he's like, Of course I would choose to be the top scientist in my field. And he's like, oh, good. I was worried you'd pick Mad Cow.
My favorite part is when he looks at him. He's like, "Would you eat the moon if it's made out of spare ribs?"
Yeah, and he won't
Jeff
answer.
Goldblum's like,
yeah, he's like, what?
"It's not rocket science.
Yeah,
Would
he's
you
like,
eat
just,
the moon
just
if
say
it was
yes
made
and
out of
we'll move on.
I would, and I'd wash it down with a nice tall Budweiser.
Hell, I'd have seconds. It's got to be one of my favorite skits ever.
I've seen Will Ferrell play that. I might have even seen that skit.
You should watch the one with Jeff Goldblum. It's literally the funniest thing ever, just to see him break.
Yeah.
He breaks over and over and
Jeff
over again.
Goldblum?
Yes, he breaks over.
Because he's so lost it, he's just like,
yeah, because you can tell that like
probably because he had no idea what the skit was.
yeah,
about.
you can tell that it's like unscripted or he's
going
going off.
Hey, just go in and play along, okay?
Yeah, it's either he's going off script or they had no script because he's just whatever he's saying. Goldblum had no clue.
didn't know how to react.
Yeah, like you can see it all over his face, and he's like, "Of course, I would choose to be the top scientist in my field."
All right, flushed with
Except in this movie.
Okay, so Seth then succeeds in teleporting a second baboon with no apparent harm. Flushed with success, Brundle wants to spend a romantic evening with Veronica, but she suddenly departs before they can celebrate. Brundle's judgment soon becomes impaired by alcohol and his paranoid. He was drinking champagne. How drunk could he have been?
We've already established he doesn't get out much, and he probably doesn't have much of a tolerance.
True. And his paranoid fear that Veronica is secretly rekindling her relationship with her editor and former lover, Stathis Borans.
He starts out like such a creep.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
But I think he does it on purpose. I think his character is to do it on purpose.
Well,
he's supposed to do it on purpose. I think that's his way of fucking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like at first it seems like that's like he's just that's who he is. He's an asshole.
Yeah, but then you realize, I think later on as it goes on, I think you realize, wow, this guy actually.
No, you absolutely he is not.
Yeah,
he's a good person.
Yeah, you find out he's not such a bad dude.
No, he really isn't.
Because that's the thing that throws you off of this movie is like.
Brundle
is supposed to be the protagonist of this movie, and he ends up becoming the antagonist of the movie.
You get this flip-flop.
You get this flip-flop between these two characters, but you spend more time with Brundle, obviously. Mm-hmm. So
I think it's one of those things where it's like at the beginning, he was heartbroken, and so on top of being heartbroken and on top of already having sort of an abrasive personality, you get those two things combined, and he comes off like an asshole. And I don't think that that's really who he is.
Right.
You know? And so later you actually get to see who he is. That's how I interpreted it.
The only questionable thing in this movie that he really does is the part in the department store. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of like breaking down like a fucking psycho. Mm-hmm. Like this. But
again, I think that's heartbreak. I think that he's legit like sad about losing her.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, he's not a bad character, though. I don't think he's a bad character. He lends to it.
Very much so.
In reality, Veronica has left to confront Borans about a veiled threat of his spurred by his romantic jealousy of Brundle to publish the telepod story without her consent. A drunk and jealous Brundle decides to teleport himself as revenge for Veronica's seeming infidelity, but a common housefly slips into the pod unseen. So the only thing that I have a gripe about this movie is the fact that there is a living fly when it is obviously like winter. It is obviously winter in wherever this is, whatever city this is in, and there's a fucking fly. When do you ever see flies during the winter? They're either hibernated or dead. So,
well, if you want to get into the scientific inconsistencies, let's talk about all of the things that are in the air in there with him.
Right, I get that. You know.
I mean, I'm not really concerned about the fly.
That's the thing is, like, if you think about it, in a situation like this, he should have fucking known better. Like, dude, you are a scientist. I don't care how drunk you are. There is no way in hell you, as a scientist, would do this.
Mm-mm.
I don't care how drunk you are. You're not that dumb.
Especially without a person controlling it on the outside.
Anything. I mean, the fact that he got in there to begin with without doing proper tests on the monkey first, or knowing anything, or at least, at the very least, sterilizing. There should be a sterilized, like in that situation, a sterilization sequence within the chamber before it teleports.
Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have air. There should be nothing in there.
Yeah.
Because there's bacteria alone in air. And bacteria is a living thing. So bacteria itself can become fused with you because it's a living thing.
And not to mention, pigs would be the best consistency for a human.
No, just their skin. That's
just their skin.
Yeah. But my biggest problem
is blowing us up.
My problem is like there's this thing too, like the reason that inanimate objects are such a good thing.
God. He's sending us Saw memes. Want to play a game? Hello. I want to play a game. For fuck's sake, Alec.
We're not doing Saw this week.
We're not doing Saw, man. What are you talking about?
Watch us pull it, though.
Is that on the Discord?
It'll be the last one.
True. No, it's
text message.
Text messages. Are you not? Oh, you're not in this group?
No.
This is what happens when you dip out for for a month.
I was like, why the fuck is everybody's phone going off?
That's what I was like. Why is my phone blowing up?
But he talks about inanimate objects.
Have you seen him? Oh, you guys were at the zoo.
Yeah, we were at the zoo together.
God damn it, Alec! We're doing a podcast.
Do you want to be called? This is how you get called.
We should, Karen, call him.
You call him.
No, you call him.
Why?
He keeps sending me fucking.
Okay.
What is with all the Saw memes? What's so funny?
It's funny to me. Because you see, I don't have a problem with the Saw movies.
Want to play a game?
You should call him and do it. You've got the man voice. Say, want to play a game?
No, I don't want to call him and do that.
Well,
you call him.
I can't do it. I don't have a man voice. I can't go, want to play a game. It sounds stupid when I do that.
Sounds like you got a sore throat.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds stupid if I try to do it.
You're not calling him?
No,
okay,
I can't do it.
Sorry, Alec, we're not calling you.
I can't do a man voice. I'm trying to.
A man? I can't do a man voice.
I can't do a man voice.
Just Facebook message or video call him.
Nah, fuck it. Sorry, man. We're moving on. We love you, Alec.
I'm saying inanimate objects obviously are easier to do because they don't have any kind of interaction with bacteria or anything like that. We have bacteria in our bodies.
Right, exactly.
Like, that's
But the thing
why.
is whenever, essentially what it's doing is it's fusing, it's taking two things and essentially fusing them together. It's like taking two colors and mixing them together, you're going to get one color.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's happening, and that's pretty much what happens to his DNA.
Mm-hmm.
You're fusing the genetic code.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I mean, that's why it's science fiction. But
the biggest thing about it is the genetic code. That there's so little of a genetic code there. Should it matter? Would it have an effect on his genetic code?
Well, that's the thing with DNA. It doesn't matter how small the animal is. Genetic codes can be ginormous. I mean, you talk about bananas. Bananas, for example, have almost a...
Bananas and pajamas?
Yeah, bananas and pajamas. Have almost...
Well, is that where, like, pajamas and bananas, like, their genetic code was mixed and they got bananas and pajamas?
Yeah.
Or, like... Man, that's wild.
Bananas have almost an identical genetic code to us.
What? Teletubbies weren't nothing more than, like, I don't know, a fucking... like a Furby mixed with Satan. You put those two together, that's what you got was a fucking Teletubby.
With a doll
that's
face.
Crazy. Yeah.
But they have the same genetic code almost. It's almost identical to us.
So it's just like the baby's
son. You look at our genetic code and it's almost infinity long.
Took a baby in the sun and you got that genetic code. Teletubbies, the baby son.
Sorry,
it's the same thing. I'm saying.
I'm just trying to figure out how you get certain things like SpongeBob SquarePants. You took a sponge and a little boy and you mix their genetic code, you got SpongeBob.
Technically, that's just a sea sponge.
He's not a sea sponge. His parents are sea sponges.
What about Mr. Krabs?
He's
Took a crab
He's
and
a
then
crab.
you genetic code with a
He's a
greedy-ass
crab.
salesman.
He's what happens when you mix a crab with Donald Trump.
He's just a crab that can talk and knows what money is. Really.
We're way off subject.
We're way off subject, yeah.
Okay,
Anyway.
now my messenger's going
God
off.
damn it. Fucking Alec. Again, now he's on Messenger.
Yeah, it's just
I don't know.
He created
No, we
a
didn't.
whole new group.
We didn't lose audio. We're good.
He created a whole new group.
For what?
You're about to dump your beer down the fucking drain. You know that shitty beer you like?
Oh my god.
Fucking Rheingeist. Nice.
Don't dump my beer down the drain. I'm gonna play a game.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Hold on a minute. I'm
Trying.
gonna call him. Hold on. Apparently I'm calling everybody. Hold on. Oh, that's everybody. I don't want to do that.
I don't want to talk to you.
I don't know you.
I almost called everyone.
It showed up.
I know. I
know,
instantly
I'm not
exited
seeing
that.
it on here.
I didn't know I was gonna do that if I fucking. All right, we're just gonna call him.
Chats.
Maybe if it's gonna ring.
Oh, there it is.
Does he not get service where he's at?
Yeah, I think.
He's got Wi-Fi.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Let's try that again.
He's too busy sending gifts.
He is.
What's up with the drinks in the sink?
Those are
That's
his
my beer.
That's been there for like 3
Oh.
weeks.
It's been there since they moved in.
Help you.
Are you happy? You're gonna fuck me up.
So, what's this game you want to play?
Well, you see, we got those beers.
Twiddle the
sitting in
diddle.
that sink, and, you get to decide whether you can come pick up your beers or you're going to go down the garbage disposal side or the right side.
Well, hold on a minute now. You can't put beer.
You
down
can't
the garbage
hostage a beer.
disposal.
Oh, I can do whatever I want. This is my game.
Can't hold beer hostage. Just not
Technically,
fucking
you
cool.
could, just ill-advised.
He's like, I can do whatever I want. This is my game. Oh man. Yeah. So why are you holding my beer hostage, dude?
Because you haven't come to get it. So I figure if, giving you ample time, and if I have to play rough, so.
Have to play rough?
The next one's gonna be sending you one with a noose in it.
That'd be fucking funny, dude.
Holding the beer up by a noose.
By a noose. You want to play a game?
Right over the garbage disposal. Slowly lowering down.
Like that, so.
Karen's over here like, oh, I don't mind if we watch Song. And I'm like, fuck you, Karen.
I get that whole Cooper smile every time we draw it. Like,
I got more games.
Did you watch The Fly this week, Alec?
Did I watch The Fly this week? No, I did not. Still unpacking.
Have you seen The
I
Fly?
don't know. I have, and you know what? I enjoyed it. I felt that it was, for that time especially, like even now watching it again, just thinking about it, like it doesn't, like Fly 2 to me was really cheesy and, it had its moments, but Fly 2 with Jeff Goldblum, I really think any movie with Jeff Goldblum, you can't go wrong. So, I would recommend watching all that good stuff. So,
Out of 10, what do you give it?
I would give it a 7.5.
Okay, that's fair.
solid.
All right. All right, we're going to get back to our podcast now. Please don't kill my beer.
Okay, well, I already told you, so.
You've been warned.
Well, maybe we can do our cookout this weekend.
amongst the people, and we'll figure something out.
All right.
Birthday party.
All right, guys.
Barrett's birthday parties this week.
Yeah, Barrett's birthday party.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Everybody tell bye. Tell Alec bye.
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 See you, bud.
See ya.
All right. So he's not.
So
I think he's
funny.
gonna let my beer live another day.
I think so.
Yeah.
We're going over there tomorrow. I can probably grab it if I remember.
Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, I was reading.
You were reading something.
Yeah, something. All right. Come on, load. All right.
Put that cookie down!
Put the cookie down. Come on, what are you doing? I gotta find my spot again. All right. In reality, Veronica has left to confront Borans about a veiled threat of his to publish the telepod story without her consent. A drunk and jealous Brendel decides to teleport himself as revenge for Veronica's seeming infidelity, but a common housefly slips into the pod unseen. The teleportation is successful, and Brendel emerges from the receiving pod, seemingly normal. Shortly after his teleportation, Seth begins to exhibit what at first appear to be beneficial effects of the process, such as increased strength, stamina, and sexual potency. However, he soon becomes arrogant and violent, and eventually realizes that something went wrong when his fingernails begin falling off.
Did you go to a doctor after that?
I would have went to a doctor as soon as I started seeing spots on my face.
Right?
I mean, seriously. Like, he just gets mad.
Yeah, like, all of the things that's happened. But he also said that he didn't want to be a lab rat being poked. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that was way later, though.
that was later, I guess, yeah.
Like, he could have maybe at some point, like, there.
What would they have done, though?
Would there have
Something.
been a way to reverse the effect? I would think that if... I bet he was smart enough that if he would have thought about it, he could have reversed the effects.
He could have. That was the whole point. Like, the telepods. If he found humans to put in there to take the fly genes and make him less fly, that was the whole point.
But
that's what actually happens in the second one.
But I think that the telepod would have read the two different genetic types, and it could have split those two genetic types up again. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know what the effects of that would have been, because
that's what he was doing at the end, was if he could find humans to put in the other pod and combine to get rid of some of the genetics of the fly. And that's actually what happens in the second one with his son.
Yeah.
His son has the same genes or whatever, and they come out later, and they put like the asshole guy in there. I remember that because the son survives.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so that's the answer. That's the key. But he waited too long, first of all, and I mean, go to some prisons and get some assholes and stick them in there. I mean,
find some fucking dirtbags off the street.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people out there that I don't want to say deserve it, but don't do it to your girlfriend. Don't do it to your girlfriend.
Right. All right.
Don't wait until you're damn near a fly.
Yeah, right. Brendel checks his computer records and discovers that the telepod computer, confused by the presence of two separate life forms in the sending pod, merged him with the fly at a molecular genetic level. Over the next few weeks, Brendel continues to deteriorate, becoming progressively less human in appearance. He theorizes that he is slowly becoming a hybrid creature that is neither human nor insect, which the doomed Seth begins referring to as Brendelfly, which is fucking great. He has started to exhibit fly-like characteristics, such as vomiting digestive enzymes onto his food to dissolve it, and the ability to cling to walls and ceilings. Brendel comes to realize that he is losing his human reason and compassion, and that he is now being driven by primitive impulses he cannot control. Attempting to find a cure for the condition, Brendel installs a fusion program into the telepod computer to possibly dilute the fly genes in his body with more pure human DNA. To her horror, Veronica learns that she is pregnant by Seth, and she cannot be sure if the child was conceived before or after his fatal teleportation. The rapidly deteriorating Brundle abducts Veronica from a clinic before she can get an abortion, and begs her to carry the child to term since it could potentially be the last remnant of his untainted humanity. Veronica sadly refuses refuses, afraid that the child will be a hideous mutant. Meanwhile, Stathis Boren, whatever, breaks into Brundle's lab with a shotgun and comes to Veronica's rescue, but is seriously injured and nearly killed by the almost fully transformed Brundle, who dissolves Boren's left hand and right foot with his corrosive vomit drop enzyme. So that shit was awesome. Whenever he did that to him, I mean, I kind of liked the dude by the end of the movie, but like that scene where he vomits on him and shit, his secreting vomit is fucking amazing in this movie. Like, this is one thing that what's his face Cronenberg does right, dude, is just great gore and effects. Like he doesn't shy away from like trying to gross you.
The effects team was actually the same ones that did Gremlins.
That makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense.
I thought the effects from this was phenomenal.
Chris Wallace.
Yeah, they look awesome. Brundle then reveals his desperate last-ditch plan to Veronica. He will use the 3 telepods, the third pod being an original prototype, to fuse himself, Veronica, and their unborn child together into one entity, so they can be the ultimate family. Does he really need the other pod? He can't. They just all crawl into the one pod, and you know what I mean? Like, why does he need the third pod? I didn't understand that, because he was fused with the fly with just one pod. Like, why do they need the other pod? I don't understand why that was necessary.
I think that because they're trying to dilute the effects, perhaps.
Maybe.
Because, like, the way that I understand, they're trying to get rid of the fly genes, right?
So maybe he was trying to teleport those fly genes into the other pod.
Yeah, like, that's the way I understand it, and maybe I'm understanding it incorrectly, but
maybe, I don't know. Like,
I think the third pod is for dilution, the dilution of some of those genes.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I was just wondering because I didn't know. To fuse himself, Veronica, blah blah blah. Okay, Veronica, frantically, resists Brundle's efforts to drag her into Telepod 1, and then accidentally tears off his jaw, triggering his final transformation into a monstrous combination of man and insect, the Brundle fly. Creature traps... Mostly fly. Creature traps Veronica inside Telepod 1, then steps into Telepod 2. However, the wounded Stathis manages to sever the power cables connected to Veronica's telepod with a shotgun, allowing Veronica to escape unharmed. Breaking out of his pod as the fusion process is activated, Brundlefly is gruesomely fused with chunks of the metal and other components from Telepod 2. As the mortally wounded Brundlefly telepod fusion. Okay, so now his name is Brundlefly Telepod because he's got part of the telepod in him.
Brundleflypod.
As the mortally wounded Brundlefly Telepod fusion creature crawls out of the receiving pod, it silently begs Veronica to end his suffering with Boren's shotgun. A devastated Veronica hesitates for a moment and then pulls the trigger, ending the life of her hideously transformed lover before falling to her knees in anguish. Oh, that's The Fly, and it just cuts the credits right there. I like that it doesn't give you anything about what happens afterwards, whether she has the abortion, because they definitely leave it open for the second movie, which obviously they go into the second movie about their kid.
I think that it's good that they leave it open because no matter how you end, like if you tried to take it in any direction, if you tried to say like she had the baby, then there's no satisfactory way to do that. If you say she had the abortion, there's no satisfactory way to do that. If you say her and Stathis ended up together, there's no satisfactory way to do that. You know, because like it's almost like a slap to her and Seth to say that they ended up together, but it's almost a slap to say that they didn't end up together because of what he did for her.
Right.
I mean, it's all there's no satisfactory way to go in any direction.
So in the second movie, because we're not doing the second movie. It's not in there, is it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Do they ever explain where she went or what happened to her?
She had him. She had the baby. That's Martin. That's the kid.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, like, what happened to her?
Oh no, she died in childbirth. I remember that.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
I hate it when.
Well, it's because Geena Davis wouldn't come back.
I get that, but like maybe she didn't die, or maybe
Well, there was that she wouldn't come back because they didn't do the original idea that they had for a sequel. She was on board for that. I think I have it in trivia, but I don't remember what it is. So I guess we'll have to wait for trivia for that. But she was on board for one of the ideas for a sequel, but they didn't go with it. So she didn't come back for the one that they did make.
It's not like a Ripley thing where she had to have sex with the fly itself, right?
No, I don't think so.
Because remember
no,
Ripley
it
wanted to
was
have
nothing.
sex with an alien?
Yeah, no, it was nothing like that. It was something.
Wasn't
Whatever it was, I remember.
One of Sigourney Weaver's
that was one of her.
Is that she had to have sex with a
she
xenomorph.
Yeah, she got all of her wishes. No, but no, I remember thinking like that was a really good one, the one that they had, but I don't remember what it is. It's in trivia. I know it. I know, put it in trivia. But yeah, she was on board for one of them, and not that.
So this movie is it's amazing because nobody actually dies in this movie, except Brundle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't actually kill anyone.
He doesn't kill anybody in this whole movie. Mm-hmm. Not a single person. He comes close to killing what's his face? Stathis, yeah. Jason Stathis.
He tries to kill Veronica. He was probably gonna really hurt that prostitute chick.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to teleport her.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows what would have happened to her? You know.
They don't even really talk about her. Like they didn't talk about her in the thing, but like she was kind of a big part of the movie there for a minute.
Yeah.
Well,
like if you saw some dude go into a bar and break some dude's arm, are you gonna leave with him?
No, I'm good.
Fuck no.
Especially for a guy who breaks his arm and then just gets up and like, all right, let's go. Like, hold on a minute, you're not even going to see if he's okay. You just broke his fucking arm in half.
I'm not leaving with you.
Yeah, which was a great effect, by the way.
It was, but that's actually one of the last effects that they did. They put it off until the very end, and they were like on the cusp of being done, like being like on
rapping.
The very rapping, like they had almost no time left to do it. But the reason that they left it until the very end was because they knew it was going to be easy to do.
I love how, like, at the beginning of this movie, Jeff Goldblum's hair looks as dorky as can be. By the end of it, he's like, he comes out of that telepod the first time, like he's like this kind of god, like this god's gift to like women. He's like standing there with like chiseled abs and this like beautiful long luscious hair. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? A goddamn like romance novel fucking commercial? Like, what is going on here?
Well, I mean, I think the first time you see him, they make him look a certain way, but the hair was always there. It was just he wore it or he combed it a certain way, and then they have him in this suit most of the time. But the first time you see him like with like a shirt that's not covering him completely, you can tell that he's like ripped. It's just they cover it up until that moment.
I just like in certain scenes, I'm like, okay, he's not a bad looking dude. Then there's other scenes like, God damn, you're one ugly motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like you are ugly, dude.
I don't think he's attractive in looks. I think he's supposed to be more attractive and like
you're an
the way-
interesting person.
Yeah, the way he carries himself,
Intellectual,
yeah, who he is as a person is what makes him attractive, not necessarily how he looks.
That's like Geena Davis. I've always thought she was like moderately attractive, but she's always been pretty to me in like the way
Who
that
she is puts her over the top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always found that to be
those
like
lips.
her attractive quality. Yeah. That too.
Mm-hmm.
But like even in like Beetlejuice, she was not attractive in Beetlejuice in any way.
I think it's her hair in Beetlejuice, that perm.
Yeah, definitely.
That 90s mom perm.
Yeah, she has that in a lot of movies. She even kind of has it in The Fly. But then you get her in like Earth Girls Are Easy, and she's pretty smoking in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or like you get her in like Long Kiss Goodnight, and she's attractive. Like she gets that blonde haircut.
Yeah, that cut.
That cut and everything. But I like that movie. That movie's awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, I gotta hand it hands down. The fucking effects in this movie are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I love practical monster effects and shit, dude. Yeah. But I love a good monster movie alone. So, you guys have a lot of notes, or do you want to?
I have one more that I want to say. I am 300% sure that when he opened up that medicine cabinet after his transformation was almost complete,
his dick was in there.
His dick was in there.
I thought the same thing. Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was. I was like, that had because it was just a quick.
Yeah, just real quick,
thing.
but I'm 300% sure.
I was like, that had to have been his penis there.
Yep.
Yeah, just sitting there.
So, like, when that falls off, it's real, right? I mean, like, are you just done at that point? Like, you're just gonna go with it at that point, right? Because like, there's no turning back.
I put a gun in my mouth.
Man,
I'm pretty sure that when your nails come off, that's probably a turning point. You should probably do something because other things are going to start falling off, I think.
Yeah, and that span between her leaving after the whole prostitute girl, which she says she wasn't a prostitute, that part and her coming back, that was 4 weeks, they said. It was 4 weeks. So you're telling me for 4 weeks you did nothing about that.
Yeah,
just let yourself deteriorate.
Yeah. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. So
after I would have seen my face turn that way, that's when I'd be like, okay,
there's a problem here.
We gotta fix this.
I don't care if I can be a national fucking like a gold medal Olympist. Like I wanna you know what I mean?
Bring other scientists in here and see what I can do about getting some human people in here so I can get a.
Yeah, I'd be pulling every crackhead.
I mean, if you got this like amazing strength, like go bust into a prison and like grab some murderers. You know what I mean? Like do something else.
I don't understand.
Like grab your girlfriend. You know?
I don't understand what. I don't know. That'd be weird. I'd love to see him fuse with other people to see how that worked.
Man, that'd be.
Yeah. Would you grow in size? Would you get bigger?
Would you be taking characteristics from that other person? Would you be taking?
How would that work?
In the second one, it just turned his son back into.
I get that, but
but I'm saying.
I
mean, we're
I think
talking
that
about
one. The storyline and plot in that movie is far less superior.
I'm not saying
going
one way or
with
the other.
this,
I
though,
only remember
because I have gripes about the second one, like about that whole transformation and shit at the end. I'm like, hold on a fucking minute here.
I only remember like plot.
When you're
mostly.
mixing,
I don't remember a lot and the only reason I remember a plot is because I feel like it was a good plot that they had. They could have done so much more with
That's
it.
That's how I thought about it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're mixing DNA like that, you're going to be getting like his hair is going to be red, so now you're going to have some red hair, and your stuff you're going to have.
doing that. Like he's like old. Like, are you just going to not look old, or are you going to? Plus, you're also like in the movie. He was actually only 5 years. Well, he was only supposed to be 5 years old.
Yeah, and age probably won't do.
Which is also another thing I thought was kind of weird because that girl was like into him. I'm like, you realize he's only like mentally 5 years old.
But he was like a genius, so he was like mentally also aged. But I mean, you could make arguments, I suppose, but
still weird.
Still weird.
Yeah, I mean, you
may look like a full-grown man, but that doesn't mean because some 16-year-old, 15-year-old looks like a full-grown man, it's okay to go bang him.
But that's another thing too. If he would go and take some murderers or rapists or whatever, don't you think something in their mentality?
Yeah, that's the whole nature versus nurture argument, right? Like, what makes them that way? I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, you could raise a whole bunch of possibilities. You know, like even without the tragedy of this story, you know, there's the whole possibilities of like all of the different things you could use this for. You know, cancer treatment. You know, the whole thing with cancer, the whole reason that we can't come up with a solution for it or a cure for it is because cancer is literally cells.
Yeah,
and we all have different cells. So we have treatments that work, but we can't come up with a cure because all of us have different cells and they all mutate in different ways. So we're never going to have a cure for cancer because there is no such thing as a, you know, cure for something that, there's no cure all because we don't all have the same kind of cells.
Yeah.
It happens at a cellular level. But if you had something like this that literally changed your molecular structure, there's your cure. If you could work with it in a certain way.
Yeah, if you could
master
program it and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just opens up a whole realm of possibilities if it would work in the correct ways. It's just I don't see, and I have a very limited understanding, I'll be honest, but you know, I don't understand, or I can't wrap my mind around it in a way where you could master it. I don't see how, you know, even like you brought up, you know, some kind of sterilization. That's fantastic. It's a perfect scenario, except you still have bacteria inside your body that's living.
True.
How do you separate that bacteria?
Yeah, like what about the burger he just ate? Like he eats a burger, he goes in there, is his body going to fuse with the DNA of that burger or the cow?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you know what I mean? Or that cow's DNA?
How does the computer know that the bacteria inside your body doesn't belong in your skin, or like, you know, how does it separate that
like,
living
especially
bacteria?
because like the human body is one of the most complex. Actually, any anatomy is complex as fuck. Like you can't just take it apart and put it back together. That's not how that works. Yeah. So
I mean, I'm not trying to tear apart the science of the movie because who cares? It's
a movie.
You know, it's a movie, but just saying that in a realistic matter, I don't see how teleportation could work with living creatures. Inanimate objects, perhaps, but never with a living creature.
Even inanimate objects, like
that would still be very difficult.
Still be very complicated, especially for a computer to decipher, put it back together. Because, like, if you think about it, like a stocking, how do you know that a stocking, like the stocking you used, put it in there, and maybe it came out the other side and it wasn't threaded together properly, or it was just a bunch of little pieces of string and fibers laying there. You know what I mean? Like, how does it know to put it back together the way that it was made?
Correct.
You know, things like that. That's just, but like you said, it's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Movie magic.
Yeah, movie logic. Yeah. Is that all you guys got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I had.
All right. We're going to go ahead and rate this motherfucker, I guess. Let's go this bitch. You ready for it? You look ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So we need a timestamp. I thought you said you were good at this, Jeremiah.
I have
been. Man. Start docking your pay.
Wait, he's getting paid?
Shit.
What the fuck?
No, I said I'm going to start docking it. That doesn't mean you get any.
What the fuck do we get ice cream?
Yeah, what the fuck do we get ice cream?
All right. So we're going to go ahead and review it, and we're going to start with Jeremiah. What do you give The Fly, man? What do you think? And remind me, we got to get Madison on this one, too. We didn't get her last week, so.
I would probably give it, I'd probably say a 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah. The body horror,
Mm-hmm.
Cronenberg does a great job. Goldblum, Geena Davis, excellent. Even the Stathis guy were excellent. You know, I like how most of it was confined.
Yeah.
You know, they did that. But yeah, overall, yeah, I don't really have much to really bitch about, you know, aside from the whole genetic
thing we don't fully understand.
But again, science fiction, I mean, they can do literally anything that they want. So yeah, I would.
Okay, I think for me, the movie's great. it is one of the best. It's one of the greatest horror movies in my opinion, or it used to be, I should say. I think watching it this time, it's been a long time since I've seen it. Watching it this time, I'm not as impressed with it. I still love it, but it's not on like the level of The Thing. I still love The Thing. It'll never get old. But like the body horror, the effects, all that stuff, man. The vomiting that he does, and Jeff Goldblum, dude. Oh my god, dude, he had to have been miserable in all them prosthetics and shit.
He said the worst part was what they used on his eyes, around his eyes, because it was so heavy. It made him sleepy.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. And I'm sure that it was grueling for him, especially. But somebody as smart and as, I believe, mentally tough as him could handle something like that. But aside from that, like the story itself is great. I think it's got a great fucking story. I think that the plot and the overall like idea of this movie is genius. It's genius. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of holes in their science in the movie, but it's a fucking movie. So I mean, what else do you want out of it? If you wanted them to explain everything, that they'd have to actually bring in genetic scientists, and you know what I mean? Like it would be almost impossible to explain away.
Oh, they would debunk everything.
Well, they would have to, because it's not
the
possible.
movie wouldn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not here for the science.
Exactly.
It's science fiction.
But for what they have here, it's fucking clever. You know what I mean? And I think that Geena Davis and Jeff Goldblum are amazing in this movie. They're fucking awesome. And I agree with Jeremiah. I think that the most of it taking place in his apartment is so good, man. It's just, it shows what you can do with a great story and a great plot with very little. You know what I mean? Like 3 main actors, 2 mostly, actually, I should say. Like the other guy was only in it for probably a total of 10 minutes. You know what I mean? He didn't have a lot of screen time. And but the 2 of those two just going off of each other, and Jeff Goldblum explaining away all the science and everything, and then her listening and her love for him, blah blah blah. All these things, they mesh so well in this movie. But I will also say that it doesn't hold up for me as it did, 15, 20 years ago, the first time I watched it. But even still, though, it's still a scary ass movie, and I love monster movies, and I love practical effects. So for that, I'm going to give it an 8, because I think it's a great movie.
A lot of what you guys said, the practical effects, I'm a nerd for that too. This tragic love story between the 2 of them, I think, is pretty amazing.
Still a better love story than Twilight.
I mean, like, I think the one scene that I was this was sort of the point for me.
It's kind of like My Demon Lover.
Hey, shut your whore mouth.
The 2 scenes that killed me with her was, I mean, there was a lot of them, but this one struck me in particular was the scene where his ear falls off and she kind of gasps and then immediately just hugs him. I don't know if I got that in me.
Yeah, because his flesh has to
and
literally be rotting away.
He has to be stinky. And, like, how do you know, like, what he's got all over him isn't, like, contagious?
Or acidic or anything.
Yeah, and she doesn't even
give it a second thought.
She just immediately grabs him and hugs him. Like, it's I mean,
she doesn't even care that it could be contagious. That's how much she loves him. And that's
exactly.
Great.
I mean, that is just wow. I'm usually not a fan of body horror, but to be fair, I think that a lot of times body horror is almost comedic in the way it's done. And
I agree. I'm not a big fan of body horror.
I'm usually not. This one is almost magical in the way it does it. It's very perfect in the way that it is implemented and used when it's used.
I do love whenever she comes in and like he's just like, "Hey, watch me! I can crawl on the walls and ceilings now." Like it's fucking normal.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
feel
I mean?
great.
Yeah, I feel great. Look at this. And I'm like,
you don't look
shit.
like it.
Yeah, their last interaction was so horrifying, and then she comes in and he's like, "Yeah, everything's fine now." So it's not just the way that they're talking to each other, you're also seeing his transformation happening, and they're using that body horror to also show what is being conveyed through their actions and their words. So it's not, the body horror is used as part of the plot as well also. It's done very well in this movie, and I think that's why I like it. The acting, as you guys said, is amazing. The plot, it all lends together. The soundtrack, I think, also lends, because there's a lot of like swelling music happening when certain scenes are happening, and it really lends to what's happening on screen. And finally, one of the things I found very awesome, it kind of struck me too, was Stathis' transformation as through the movie.
From being this tool bag.
Where he really came through for her, and you see him in the apartment, like when she finds out she's pregnant, and like at first you're just kind of like, oh, he's just going to be her friend or whatever. But like you see him watching this thing, and you're like, oh, he's going to be a dick, and he's going to talk to her about like, oh, that's so gross. And instead, his reaction to her saying, she's pregnant is exactly what a good person would be, is like, what are you going to do? Like, instead of just,
like, oh, you need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. It's, what are you going to do? How, and he immediately.
Or what do you want to do?
Yeah. And he immediately, listens to what she has to say. And he's the one that is trying to help her. He's finding doctors. He's, going to do whatever it takes to get her what she needs.
Yeah. And that is a good turnaround for him, and that did make me like him by the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
I honestly, it's been so long since I've seen this movie that I actually forgot about that turnaround for his character. Because I remember at the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, this fucking guy, he's a fucking dick. And then I remember, but I don't remember that turnaround.
See, and I made the comment to Jeremiah. I said I remember like him being an asshole, but I think at the end of the movie, like he helps her, but I don't remember for sure. Like, if he's, like, a good guy or if he just shows up at the end to try to help. I don't remember. Because I do remember him being there at the end. I remembered the end scene with him, like, sitting there. I remembered that. But, like, him showing up with that shotgun, not knowing what he's walking into, knowing full well that Seth is a monster at this point. He knows that he's going into a dangerous situation. I mean, that says a lot. He just goes in there with a shotgun and that's it. But, yeah, so I think for me it's going to be an 8.5. I really like this movie, and I think it is a fantastic movie with a lot of...
I think an 8.5 is fair.
Good points.
What do you think, Eric?
So, I mean, it goes a long ways with what you guys said. I mean, the special...
That's always how he starts out his review. It's what you guys said, pretty much.
It pretty much is.
Because he always cover everything he wants to say. He's like, damn it!
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say on this. I mean, the special effects is what really, gives it a higher rating for me. The plot of the movie, it's there. It's good.
It's no Transformers 2, though, right?
No.
It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, really, for me, it's the special effects what really gives this movie flair for me.
Right.
I can't really say special, but I mean
The
effects.
effects.
Yeah, practical effects.
Yeah, the practical effects are what always kills it for me, man. I love that.
I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah.
The way that all the actors interacted with each other was pretty good. So I'm just going to go in with a 7 because it's just not something I could sit here and watch over and over. So I'm going to say a 7.
Okay.
Don't forget Madison.
Madison, thank you, because I almost did. We're going to call Madison, and hopefully she answers. And get her review here. Where is it at? Oh, yeah, punk-ass Madison.
Punk-ass Madison.
That's what I got her on my phone as.
I figured.
Punk-ass. Punk-ass. See if she... Hey.
Hi. What are you doing?
Hi. The podcast.
Hi.
Well, duh. I actually
Then why the fuck did you ask?
It was a rhetorical question.
What a rhetorical your ass.
No, Not from over there, you ain't.
Right, not on the podcast. We
Oh.
don't need to people knowing how I beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How's
so
everybody doing?
pretty good. A lot better than you're going to
Karen,
be when you get home.
Love you.
Love
Oh.
you.
Karen, save me.
Well, let me know when you'll be here.
2 weeks. Well, a week and a half. You got your review for The Fly.
Yeah, I got my review for The Fly.
I love that she doesn't hear our reviews before we call her.
She's
Good.
going in blind.
She's coming in blind. Well,
She-
usually
she
she'd be the
can't-
first one we
She
ask
can't
anyway.
answer like I
was
do.
gonna say, normally I go
But
in
she's been
blind
here for the whole
anyways.
podcast, so she kind of has a idea of how
That's
we felt.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about The Fly?
Honestly, I was not expecting that chimpanzee to be like inside out like that.
Yeah, it gets a little
Were
weird.
you
Where is
hungry? Did it make you hungry?
It just
I ate lasagna while I watched this movie.
Yum.
do it.
He said he ate lasagna while he watched this movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Gross.
How'd that food settle?
Just fine.
Just fine. Because we can depict the difference between real and not real.
It was nice and squishy.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
I
and
didn't
saucy.
eat. I didn't eat before I watched it, so it's probably a good thing. I just got done eating peach rolls and corn dogs.
That's healthy.
Those two things don't go together.
Yeah, but there was ketchup too, and ketchup's got tomatoes, and tomatoes are healthy, so.
Tomatoes.
That was all good.
Whatever your logic tells you.
Yeah.
About the movie.
Right. I am gonna go ahead and give it a 7.5. It was pretty good, actually. I kind of really liked it, and I can't. Isn't that one chick from like Ghostbusters or something? What is she from?
From Beetlejuice. It's Geena Davis.
Beetlejuice. Yeah. That's
Geena
what I meant to
Davis.
say.
She was just in the other movie, Earth Girls Are Easy. Remember we reviewed that?
Yeah.
Her and him both were in Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yeah, well, my brain wasn't working. Okay, it's running a little slow today.
Makes sense.
Shut up. That's not funny. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It was really good.
We all
and
gave
that
it
one guy
9s.
from Jurassic. Oh, my bad.
I'm just kidding. We didn't give it 9s.
I was gonna say that doesn't make a lot of sense. What'd Karen give it?
8.5.
8.5.
8.5.
Jeremiah gave it a 7.5. Eric gave it
7.
a 7, and I gave it an 8.
7 and 8. Well, I was in there.
Yeah, you're like right in the middle. You're on there.
Yeah,
You're on par with Jeremiah.
Yeah. Alright. Well, yeah. And then he looked really, really freaky though.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just looked like a meshed up mess.
Yeah, that's a Cronenberg movie for you.
Yeah. But he looked cool. You know, Ada told me earlier, she goes, I am a horror fan fanatic or whatever. And then she asked me what I was watching after that. I said The Fly. She was like, ew, what is that?
It's The Fly.
It's The Fly.
I was like, what did you just say? Or what did you just tell me 10 minutes ago?
I'm a horror fanatic. Ew, what's that?
Yeah, things that fly
And
around.
she was like, I've never heard of that one. Then why have I never heard of it? I was like, it's a classic.
You should
She's
probably
like, then why
watch
have
it.
I never heard of
She
it?
should probably watch it.
Probably, Ada.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Ada, you should probably
literally
watch
one
it.
of the best ones. It's
What?
like on all the lists and stuff that say you have to watch
It really is. It really is.
1,001 movies you need to watch before you die.
And so
and
it's
shit
probably
like
on the top 100 horror movies of all time.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it would sit. I'm sure. Actually, I bet it's in the top 50.
that. Oh, probably.
Oh,
I
easily.
don't know.
But all right,
Top
we're gonna get
30
back to
maybe.
it. I'll let you know what we're gonna do next week.
Alright. Sounds good.
All right, love you.
Bye. Love you guys.
Love you.
I just hung up on her. She's like, okay.
So we're at a 7.6 then for aggregate.
7.6. That's not too bad. You did the Rotten Tomatoes this week. Okay. Jeremiah, what do you think?
For the critics.
76.
76. That's actually a pretty good number. For critics, I'm gonna go 80.
It's Cronenberg, so could go either way.
Yeah.
I'll go 70.
Joseph will take it. It's a 93%.
Oh, damn.
I
I thought about going up to 85, but...
I thought about it too.
Yeah.
Like, it could go either way.
When scientist Seth Brundle, Jeff Goldblum, completes his teleportation device, he decides to test its abilities on himself. Unbeknownst to him, a housefly slips in during the process, leading to a merger of a man and insect. Initially, Bundle appears to have undergone a successful teleportation. But the fly cells begin to take over his body.
You're reading the plot again.
Well, this is what...
That's the plot.
Okay, well, whatever. I thought that's what...
You thought it was Critics' Consensus?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I shove it up there and you're like, oh, that's not
what
it.
I thought. Well, anyways, I don't have the Critics' Consensus then.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, audience.
92.
92. I think the audience is going to be high, too. I agree.
89.
89, you fuckers. Damn. You said 92? I'm $1 and your ass are going 93.
You would.
Jeremiah's going to take it.
Damn.
It's 83%.
Really?
Fuck
It's
them.
lower?
I'll do it. What the fuck?
Wow.
Well, it's body horror.
Yeah.
Most people don't have the stomach for it.
I thought it'd be higher, though, man. I thought that, like, for sure, like, well, I guess whenever you get a bunch of random fucking...
You'd think that
people.
tragic love story would speak to people.
Yeah, but let's face it. You get a lot of random-ass fucking people on Rotten Tomatoes saying, oh, this movie was weird.
It's not Twilight, man.
Buckle in, because I got some really long ones.
Oh, great.
All right, so the first one. The original movie, The Fly, was a lovely little horror film. Was it great? No, but it was effective and fun to watch. Did it need to be remade? Possibly, but only if the integrity of the original story remained and it was given better special effects. But not like this. Gone is the silly fun of the original.
Question.
And
it's a horror movie, right?
It was a horror movie to begin with. There was no silly fun about it.
Why do
the
we have to
original
be?
was...
Well, the original was more of like the 50s.
I get that kind of
drive-in
campy
theater, campy movie.
I get
It
that.
had Vincent Price in it, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it did.
First
Yeah, it
and
did.
The second one.
The first and the
did.
second, not the third.
Yeah.
The third one had a different guy.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
in its place is a visceral,
Visceral.
viscerally disturbing, nauseating, actually mess with a rather mean spirit. It's simply unfun and unappealing.
Well, if you want fun, watch a Disney movie. This is a horror movie. It literally says it in the genre.
Yeah. So here's another one. Another sad remake of a good movie. It pales in the shadow of Vincent Price's version.
Oh my god.
It does give a few changes from the original. Better movie, but they are just tweaks to give a different tangent made possible with relatively more modern special effects. The accident that causes the transformation is somewhat different, but ultimately the same results. Goldblum was a poor choice as the main actor.
I fucking disagree.
I wholeheartily disagree.
He was easily the best part of this fucking movie.
He sounds
perfect.
the same.
Well, him and Geena Davis were perfect.
The way he acted like the Fly and those little like ticks that he would do.
Twitches.
Yep.
Those were fucking great, man.
He sounds the same in every movie that he is in. He throws around a tirade of sophisticated / science words to make the pseudo-intellectuals think that
When are you reviewing this exactly? Because back when this movie came out, how many movies did he have under his belt?
You don't know.
You know what I mean? Like
not very many.
Not many.
This review was in 2022.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Shut the fuck up, dude.
And words to make pseudos smart is smart, and a movie is cutting edge. Goldblum is just mechanical. He does not act well. This movie throws in the blood and gore Hollywood is using for entertainment.
What blood and gore? There was no blood in this fucking movie.
I like how he says
Very
mechanical.
little, anyway.
Well, when the baboon got turned inside out.
I mean,
That was the
okay.
whole thing,
I
but
like
other
how
than
he
that-
said mechanical. That was literally part of his character to
Yeah.
be mechanical and kind of cold, especially at the beginning.
Especially because he was a fucking scientist.
Yeah, like when she says, do you ever change your clothes? And he said, yeah, these are clean. And she looks and he has like the same pair of clothes.
Like 5 pairs of the same thing. Yeah.
Like he is mechanical. That's literally his character.
Hold on, I've got, like I said, I've got quite a few. So let's get through this.
Sorry.
Where was I? Mechanical does done well. This movie throws in the blood and gore Hollywood is using for entertainment for the visceral crowd that aspires to violent and base behavior. Save yourself 95 minutes of wasted life that you will not get back and pass on this movie. Another long one. For some reason,
this is an old movie, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, it was back in the 80s. This movie's literally 34 years old.
Unless that was in the 80s review, which I very much doubt since the internet wasn't really a thing back then. Hollywood is using. You got a time machine.
Yeah, especially nowadays, take a look at what we're getting. Literally this year, name one fucking movie that is coming out that isn't a sequel, a remake, a reboot, or anything of the sort.
Or an exorcism movie.
Or an exorcism movie. Like, give me an original fucking movie that's coming out this year. Name one.
That looks like the worst one.
It's the worst one. That's the longest.
Prequels, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
It's about, like, 4 paragraphs.
Something new and original that isn't been done, remade, sequeled, prequeled, reimagined, made from something else, was a TV series, now making it a movie. Name one. Like, even that movie that I posted earlier with The Rock in it about another fucking Christmas movie. It's just another Santa Claus movie, and The Rock is playing the same fucking character that he plays in everything.
This ain't your normal Santa.
Yeah, so name one fucking movie. Like, there's there's a couple of movies maybe in that mix, but I guarantee you they're fucking horror movies. They're probably horror movies.
Okay.
So, because that's the only originality we have left anymore.
I never understood why anyone thought this was a good movie. It's a silly remake of a 50s classic with Vincent Price. I highly recommend watching the original. The remake has bad acting, a weak script, and is totally predictable. It relies on some gross out scenes for content, and that is supposed to be the great cinema? ? Watch the original.
Your face is great cinema.
Another one. What did I just see?
Might break the camera. I ain't buying a ticket for that.
What did I just see? This movie is very bad and cringe. This movie almost made me fall asleep. I'll forget about this movie in T-minus 2 seconds.
But you didn't, because you decided to write a review
you
about
say
it.
Cringe? Like this movie is bad and cringe? I'm writing y'all.
Yeah, this
that
movie
is something our teenagers said.
Right.
Yeah.
Repulsion, a David Cronenberg film. 1 out of 10.
That's kind of funny, actually.
It's supposed to be repulsive. That's what makes it so great.
I know, but that's funny.
That's what makes it great.
It was like Repulsion, a David Cronenberg scent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
David Cronenberg film, 1 out of 10. I had expectations. I had expectations for this movie, seeing it had very positive reviews, and because I loved the actors, Davis and Goldblum in other films. I thought the story was thin, the love story without credibility. Special effects were disgusting.
This story was not thin at all.
Yeah. Were disgusting.
This is thick like fucking Ron Jeremy's cock, dude. This shit was thick as fuck.
But looking more like leprosy than a light transformation to a fly.
Well, tell me what a transformation into a fly looks like, because I've never seen it.
I'm sorry, do you have experience with this?
This one kind of throws me off because
you know?
This person uses fucking
It's
emojis.
my friend from Canada. You wouldn't know him.
Yeah.
All right,
they do things different up there.
I'm going to say the emojis as they're in the sentence, okay?
All right.
The Fly is a 1986 American science fiction horror film directed by and co-written by David Cronenberg. Ladybug, oof.
Wait, written and co-written?
That's what I said.
Directed
and co-written.
Directed and co-written.
Okay.
So by David Cronenberg, Ladybug, oof.
What?
Ladybug.
Why the ladybug?
I don't know. There's Ladybug, oof. It might have just said fly. Couldn't find a fly emoji, so you used Ladybug.
Maybe?
I don't know.
But yeah, that's still dumb.
This isn't good.
Reaching.
Yeah.
If you couldn't find a fly, then just don't put it in there.
face.
Oh, what is it?
An unenthused.
Unenthused?
face. It's kind of
Okay.
okay, you're meh. Probably give it a miss, thumbs down. This movie is so bad, it's laughable. Be afraid. Be very afraid when Seth Brundle makes a huge scientific and technological breakthrough in teleportation. He decides to test it on himself, unbeknownst to him. So now you're just going off by the plot.
Mm-hmm. You're literally writing the synopsis.
Yeah, and that's basically what he starts naming off the plot into that paragraph. Yeah, threw me for a loop.
Okay, if you can't talk in more than emojis and then summarize the plot,
yeah.
Shut up.
Now here's the long one. It's like fucking 4 paragraphs. So sit in here, fellas. For some reason, obsessive filmmakers make horrible movies that end up taking as works of genius by many. This is one case. This movie is disturbing like none I've seen to date. December 9th of 2022.
Need to get out more.
It is not rated on this website, but it is obviously R for nudity, violence, and gore. The genre is called
nudity.
There's you see the covers.
Yeah, no. You saw his butt.
Yeah, and you saw like
the side.
Yeah, it was like Terminator-esque when you opened up the pod door and he's like laying there or whatever.
No, they show his butt whenever he's laying on top of that prostitute.
Yeah.
So, but also, I mean, maybe the side boob of
there's
Geena
just
Davis.
but barely side boob, like barely.
The dick in the cabinet.
That must be
the dick in the cabinet.
Yep.
God damn
the rotting
that
dick
in the cabinet.
The genre is called biological horror or body horror. What actually means nothing. So I prefer the first.
Really a genre.
This kind of movie relies on gruesome effects more than anything else, and the dread of being
body horror.
The dread of being infected and losing your grip on the human body. And this movie sets the standard.
Body horror.
Sets the standard. The acting of Goldblum, the Fly, and Davis, the girlfriend, are at the level of a low-budget movie. What?
You say low budget movie?
Yeah.
Dude, fucking AAA titles, fucking $100 million titles couldn't do what this movie did. Create a good story, a thick as cock story.
With 3 people
with
in one
3
room.
fucking people in one room. Well, I mean, it's more than one room, but most of it's in this one room with a solid fucking plot.
What, in a sense, this movie is. Except it had a big budget for the first time for a movie of this genre, and that's what makes it exceptional. Okay, a lot of care was given into the FX and makeup. Cronenberg's editing is as bad as your typical 80s movie. And some big mistakes were made in making the final edit, leaving important and relevant scenes out. Special care was given into making the scenes, or making the main character likable, although the main actor is...
I'm sorry, man, I gotta interrupt. This just popped in my head. So the part where he's like excreting down on his leg and his arm, I just thought, Haktua! Just spit on that thing. It just popped in my head. I just envisioned him spitting on his leg, and I'm thinking, Haktua.
Special care was given into making the main character likable.
Sorry, it was funnier in my head.
They didn't really, though.
Although
he was just likable.
The main actor is anything else but likable. For Cronenberg, it is a tragic love story, but in my opinion, it's hard to tell a love story when you put so much weight on gruesome close-ups. The movie makes no effort in hiding the
Geena Davis sells the
hideousness.
Love story. She sells the love story.
Mm-hmm.
The movie makes no effort in hiding the hideousness.
She breaks your heart.
Hold on, I'm like right there. The movie makes no effort in hiding the hideousness of the Fly character. In fact, it inputs it right in your face. Well, yeah, it's part of the fucking movie.
It's called The Fly. It's called The Fly. And it's a Cronenberg movie.
Yeah, so I'm done. That's it.
So you're going to see a giant, disgusting fly.
And a rotting dick.
And a rotting dick.
Do hawk. Do hawk to.
Hawk to. I saw that too.
That had me dying.
That's a good meme though. Tua, spit on that thing. That's what he did to that donut.
I like how he's trying to do the kids thing too. Like he's like, "Oh, watch this, kids!" Like, ain't nobody showing their kids that.
I'm gonna show you how to watch Brundlefly.
Like nobody's gonna watch that. Like nobody's gonna show that to their kids.
Though.
Like, dude.
Like, what do you think? You start a kids television show? I could be like, I'm like, no, I don't think so.
No, I don't think we're not putting that on PBS.
That's the funny thing about this. There's some funny moments in this movie that you're like, huh. Like you didn't catch it years ago watching it because you're like, holy shit, this is a freaky fucking movie. Mm-hmm. But as an adult, it's less scary, so you catch those funnier moments a little easier.
I live with my mom too.
Yeah, I live with my mom too.
Excellent. Yeah. Those two things, just those two moments.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum kills it in this movie. I don't care what anybody says. I don't remember what I said my favorite movie of his was whenever we did his creator profile. If we were even doing that then, I don't know.
I think we were, but I don't remember.
But like this is
I think I said mine was Jurassic Park, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you did. I think you said Jurassic Park.
I don't remember what I said mine was.
Dr. Malcolm. Was that his character?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Sexy.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember what I said. Maybe I did say The Fly, but I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Mine might have been The Fly. I don't know.
I really.
If we even did one.
I told him I was gonna say Beetlejuice for Geena Davis, and then we got done watching this, and I was like, nope, it's this. Like her heartbreak.
She's okay in Beetlejuice, but she's just kind of like...
No, it's more just Beetlejuice.
She's not selling the emotion or anything about Beetlejuice.
No, it's more just Beetlejuice the movie.
Right.
I really like Beetlejuice.
Right.
You know, it's nostalgia.
It's hard to... It's sometimes you want to pick movies with actors in it because you love the movie, but then there's other times like, but then again, I really loved themselves, their character a lot more in this movie.
Well, see, and that's the thing.
For the movie
I couldn't think of a movie with Geena Davis in it that I thought she stood out a whole lot. I mean, there's A Long Kiss Goodnight, but you know, I liked a lot of the actors in that movie. She didn't stand out to me.
Sam Jackson.
She didn't stand out to me any more than he did in that movie. So it didn't really. There was no movie that I could think of where she stood out.
She definitely stood out way more than he did in that movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
That is one of those few movies where I'm like, that's not a movie where he stood out more than this person.
I guess maybe I'd have to watch it again. I just don't remember.
Yeah, she definitely stood out more in that movie than he did because just her transformation between these two separate
these two characters
was great, and seeing her as this fucking badass was awesome.
Yeah,
that movie will forever be just my favorite. I love that movie of hers. So.
I don't know. After watching this one, though, I was like, okay, no.
Yeah, no. She sells it great in this movie. She's awesome in this movie.
Her emotional, I mean, holy shit.
Her range in it a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
But then again, dude, like Jeff Goldblum, like I don't know who, like Jeff Goldblum definitely sells this movie because him as the Fly and his movements and the way he acts and his like being the first bug politician and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like who thinks of this shit? You know, that had to come from him. You know what I mean? Like
no, it's actually there's a poem. The bug politician thing I think came from Cronenberg, but when he said that I was an insect that dreamt I was a man, that's from a poem, not the insect part, but I think. It might be insect, but I don't remember.
I just think that I think he sells it really fucking well, and he had to go through some shit to put on all that shit, all that.
I think it's like
most of that's probably a bodysuit, but like the facial stuff that had to be put on. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah.
You know, he's probably spent hours in the chair.
It's the tragedy of it that it's so beautiful in its own way, and her reaction to all of it just. I was like, "Yep, it's this movie. This is where she shines."
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead if we're done with with that, we're gonna go ahead and move on to trivia. Karen, give us some of that fucking sweet ass trivia.
Put that cookie down.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
In a 1987 interview on Sinister Image, Vincent Price revealed that when this remake was released, Star Jeff Goldblum wrote him a letter saying, "I hope you like it as much as I liked yours." Price was touched by the letter. He composed a reply and went to see the film, which he described as wonderful, right up to a certain point, and then it went a little too far. The line, I'm saying I'm an insect who dreamt he was a man and loved it, but now the dream is over and the insect is awake, is a reference to author somebody, very hard to say, Zhuangzi, famous butterfly dream story. It's also a reference to Franz Kafka's famous short story, The Metamorphosis. After watching some of his early films, director Martin Scorsese asked to meet David Cronenberg. Upon meeting him, Scorsese said he looked like a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon. This inspired Cronenberg to give himself the cameo as the Doctor.
Okay.
According to Cronenberg...
Wait, he was the Doctor?
Yeah, he was the guy.
Fuck me, he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
According to Cronenberg, the line, "Be afraid, be very afraid," was invented by Mel Brooks while discussing how characters should react to the early stages of Seth Brundle's transformation. Cronenberg was surprised when the film was seen by some critics as a cultural metaphor for AIDS, since he originally intended for the film to be a more general analogy for disease itself, terminal conditions like cancer, and more specifically the aging process. It took nearly 5 hours to apply the most extensive makeup stages to Goldblum. Mel Brooks didn't want people to know he was a producer for the film because he thought people wouldn't take it seriously if he knew that he was involved. When people did find out, he decided to make the most of it by handing out dealy boppers at the premiere.
Handing out what?
Dealy boppers. They're those like head things that you put on that have like springs and like those little balls on top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Geena Davis wasn't acting.
Please don't make Spaceballs 2 suck. It's gonna suck, though.
It's gonna suck.
It's gonna suck.
Geena Davis wasn't acting when Jeff Goldblum's right ear.
You know about that, right?
No.
Spaceballs 2? You don't know about it?
I thought it was a joke.
That's for real. Like I thought it was too. It's real. They're doing a Spaceballs 2, bud.
I said they
Buckle up.
I said they already have
the
right
your childhood.
The right name. It's just the search for more money.
The problem is they're putting Josh Gad in there now. The dude has never done anything funny
in charge of it.
That dude has never done anything funny.
I don't know. He was all right in that. What was that? Hulu movie. Something about monsters. I think it was a zombie movie.
Yeah, but he was in charge of that.
No, but he was in it.
Yeah, he was in it. But anything that he's been in charge of, or like.
Well I'm talking even comedically. I'm even saying like his acting.
If he plays off of other people, or he's like a character in it or whatever, he does fine.
Like he was so the Beauty and the Beast live action.
Never seen.
He played Gaston's
friend,
whatever the fuck he is. He did a good job in that, but comedically he wasn't funny.
Mm-hmm.
He was just supposed to be like that character.
Yeah,
and he was fine. He did a great job. I'm not saying he's a bad actor or he's anything like that. I just don't think he's funny.
I hope he proves us wrong because it is a beloved thing.
Yeah,
and if
you don't
fuck
fuck
it
with
up, you're gonna
Spaceballs.
piss off.
And if it fucking sucks, I will act like it does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying. I'm just because dude, Spaceballs is near and dear, dude. Like,
no,
that is something close to my heart that you can't fuck with. That's my favorite Mel Brooks, hand down.
Oh yeah,
hands down. Favorite Mel Brooks.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles is great, but for me,
I like Blazing Saddles. I love Men in Tights. I love a lot of his shit, but Spaceballs is my number one.
I have to agree. I think it's Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is amazing.
Yeah.
Mostly, not even just because of Mel Brooks, but because of like
they're just
John Candy.
It's all of the little nuanced things that happen.
Everything that fucking Rick Moranis does. Fucking,
I love the knock next time. Knock next. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good.
You idiots! You caught their stunt doubles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Geena Davis wasn't acting when Jeff Goldblum's right ear falls off. Her reaction in the film was genuine, and she was genuinely shocked when it was filmed. Cronenberg kept the take of her reaction in the film. The fly's vomit was made from honey, eggs, and milk. Cronenberg met with some opposition when he announced that he wanted to cast Jeff Goldblum in the lead role. The executive at Fox, who was supervising the project, felt that Goldblum was not a bankable star, and Chris Wallace felt that his face would be difficult to work with for the makeup effects.
He does have a really weird face, though.
Both
He's one of them people that I think grew into their face.
Both, however, deferred to Cronenberg's judgment. Cronenberg himself later had reservations when Goldblum suggested Geena Davis, his girlfriend at the time, for the other lead role, as he did not want to have to work with a real-life couple. Cronenberg was convinced after Davis's first reading that she was right for the role. Stuart Kornfeld suggested that they audition more actresses, saying that it's the script that is brilliant. Kornfeld relented after nobody else even came close. As far as his creative relationship with Cronenberg, Wallace says the director is very fascinating to work with. He's very intelligent, observant, and understanding. He's also challenging and supportive. He has a very clear idea of what he wants and how he sees things. So the design phase tends to go quickly. His design directions also tend to be more emotional and psychological than most directors. Most directors will describe what they want physically. They'll say it needs to be bigger, make the eyes red, add more horns. David's descriptions were more like it needs to be in more pain, and I want to see confusion in its eyes. I would say David's style is much fuller and covers a wide design approach more than most directors. I thought that was kind of neat, that he describes what he wants in emotion rather than, it needs...
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Yeah. I just thought that was really neat, though. I thought that was
But I think that's a good way to direct somebody. You know what I mean? Like, listen... It's
Well,
not so much that
creative.
I want him to look scary, but I need him to look this way.
Well, you have to think like an FX person is probably a very creative person, so like they would understand that language.
They're like, okay,
yeah, I can do that. You know,
yeah, that would be pretty. That's almost probably surreal for them because they're like, holy shit, I've never actually had a director
speak my language.
Ask me that.
Chris Wallace asked Jeff Goldblum to give a physical characteristic to his performance that he could easily transfer over to the end of the space bug puppet. Goldblum thought about it and then added his trademark twitches, which they could then easily add to their puppeteering. This was originally a project for Tim Burton to direct.
I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah.
I'm glad Cronenberg did this
fucking weird.
Yeah, he'd have made it some fucking weird ass. I mean, maybe he would have made it his own thing, but it wouldn't be the horror movie we got. It would have been something else Tim Burton did that, let's face it, wasn't his again. To begin with. Because how many original fucking projects has Tim Burton done? 2?
Brundle goes through the stages of grief during his transformation. Denial, he refuses to believe that anything is wrong, believing instead that he has been improved. Anger, he becomes short-tempered. Fear, he is afraid that he sees his body starting to deteriorate. Bargaining, he attempts to arrest the process by fusing with another life form. Acceptance, he begs for death. An early treatment for a sequel written by Tim Lucas involved Veronica dealing with the evils of the Bartok Company. Brundle's consciousness had somehow survived within the telepod computer, and the Bartok scientists had enslaved him and were using him to develop the process for cloning purposes. Brundle becomes able to communicate with Veronica through the computer, and he eventually takes control of the Bartok's complex security systems to gruesomely attack the villains. Eventually, Veronica frees Brundle by conspiring with him to reintegrate a non-contaminated version of his original body. Cronenberg endorsed the concept at the time.
Stupid.
Sounds like too much.
Well, it was more in development as time went on.
I think it would be cool to see a sequel. Okay, so what you're saying is a sequel would have seen him and Geena Davis back, but like Geena Davis as more of the lead than him, and him being like this sort of
he would have come back.
More of like an
he would have come back
artificial
midway
intelligence.
through the movie. Like she would have freed him from his computer prison and somehow.
But there would have been a cloned body of him or something. I don't know about all that. That seems a little stretched.
No more than a 5-year-old.
Is that the one?
Science
I mean,
fiction.
I don't think that the second would have been is any better. That what we got wasn't any better. But in this case, I don't think that would have been nearly as well received as the first. And I could see why Geena Davis was like, or even Jeff Goldblum
I don't
was
think I would have preferred that they didn't do a sequel at all. Honestly,
I agree. Yeah.
Geena Davis was open to doing a sequel and only pulled out of The Fly 2 because her character was killed off in the opening scene, while Goldblum was not, although he was okay with a cameo, and this treatment would reflect that. However, a later treatment written by Jim Wheat and Ken Wheat was used as the basis for the final script written by Frank Darabont. Mick Garris also wrote a treatment with elements incorporated into the final film that became the second one, The Fly 2.
So I think that if they would have done what they said, hey, we're like, Jeff Goldblum had said, "Well, yeah, I don't mind being killed off in the first few scenes of the movie, and then never, and then being done with it." Movies like that never are received well because they don't want to see a main protagonist or antagonist get killed off in the first 5 minutes of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? From the previous movie.
It's just like Aliens 3.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that. Like, you don't want to see that. That, like, just kills the whole vibe of the movie for you as soon as you walk into it.
Yeah.
So I think that seeing him being killed off or seeing Geena Davis being killed off, it just kills it all. I think that if you're going to come back for the movie.
Yeah.
Or just don't do the movie at all.
Yeah.
Like in this case, I think with the second one, I think that for what they got was okay. It's not a terrible movie by any means. The plot
is just mediocre, whereas the first one is so good that it just...
I mean, I think that the people involved did fine. But I think the concept behind it was good. I think that it was just poorly executed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, because like the whole, he's 5, because he ages like an insect would age, made sense. That was a good idea. But at the end, the ending is what killed the second one for me. That's what it was like. Like that whole him transporting over with that dude and then being turned back into his just normal self was like, no fucking way. Like there's going to be some sort of residual effect to that. You know what I mean? He's not just going to transport all of his fly DNA over to that guy. There's just no fucking way,
I don't know. I guess I'd have to watch it over again. I guess there's no more pseudoscience in that than there is in this one.
I get that. But like in this, it's like there are so many more holes than with the first one.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I think that they could have maybe rounded it out a little better. But the insect politics speech was something that David Cronenberg came up with from his days as an entomologist. He was fascinated by insect societies, the division of labor, and the caste structure therein, yet they are very much not human. According to Cronenberg, the basic premise of the film, two lovers, one of whom contracts a disease and the other who is forced to watch and ultimately helps the sick one commit suicide, would have never been made as a straight drama. However, as a sci-fi genre picture, the more serious dramatic tones and the realism of what the film has to say was guarded. But you have to consider how many people have given themselves their own death sentence in their bathrooms by discovering that thing in the shower, in the bathtub, or in the mirror, and that's where the potency of those scenes come from. A number of actors were approached for the role of Seth Brundle. Many of them turned the role down as they were afraid of how much prosthetic makeup they would be required to wear later in the film, and that their performance would be lost in the makeup and how much it covered. Jeff Goldblum was not afraid at all. He, in fact, welcomed the challenge. The makeup for the last part of the film took over 5 hours to apply before filming could even begin. Geena Davis would often sing and read to him while he was having his makeup put on.
Aww.
Cronenberg also notes that Goldblum had to learn how to speak with various kinds of prosthetic teeth in, and the actor had to work with a speech therapist throughout the film.
I love it whenever all of his teeth fall out. He's like, just pure relics.
Yeah, I know. It's like, Cronenberg notes in the scene where Seth is rambling on and on while continuously pouring sugar in his coffee that even though a lot of dialogue was written, Goldblum added lines. Come on. Added lines in order to continue the amping up effect it had on the character. Cronenberg also notes the scene could have a parallel with someone being on cocaine, which was common in the 1980s. He also likens the Brundlefly fusion to a disease and the fact that when someone is given a disease, they always try to find the benefits in what is happening to them. There are a few moments where Cronenberg notes a special effect that would have been done using computers had the film been made when technology allowed it. For instance, the scene where Veronica walks in on Seth crawling across the ceiling was done using a huge Ferris wheel and the set being built on that Ferris wheel.
I figured.
As Seth/Goldblum crawls on the ceiling and down the wall, the set rotated to give the supernatural appearance of someone being able to do such a thing.
Sadly enough, I bet that was one of the most expensive things.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Like, to build a whole set on honestly, some kind of wheel.
It would be, but honestly, I like it better than them being able to use a computer.
Oh, of course. I agree 100%. Like, I knew what it was. I knew they were using some kind of rotating. Because you know how they have those things where, like, they can literally rotate a whole room. And so they'll build a set inside of essentially this box.
Yeah.
and they have these giant.
They
rigs.
did the same thing for Johnny Depp's scene when he died in Nightmare on Elm Street. That's how they got the blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's because I remember they had a lot of issue.
Yeah,
with all
because electricity and all that. Yeah. Stathis' melting hand effect was created by sculpting the mutated hand, then building up an intact hand on top of it using gelatin. The gelatin was then melted using stage lights and a hairdryer and filmed at low speed. Chris Wallace essentially recreated the same effect he had used earlier for Todd's melting face in Raiders of the Lost Ark. 2 puppeteers, the last 2 I have.
I love seeing those scenes where like it's a slow melting.
Mm-hmm.
Remember in first Critters, whenever his face
forms,
and
it's
I
like
remember
wax. Yeah, you can see the wax.
I was like, I love those. Those are the cheapest,
but they're also the most.
They're the coolest
impressive.
fucking effects, and they're so impressive because it's so simple.
Yeah,
it's such a simple effect that does so. Like I know you can tell what it is. You can tell that it's something they melted or whatever. And they sped it up, but like still, it's so cool. It's just an awesome effect that I love from like the '80s and shit.
So the last 2 I have are about the effects team, but they're both funny. So 2 puppeteers, one of them being Chris Wallace, were located underneath the floor, animating the inside-out baboon, while a third pumped blood. All 3 of them had to wear raincoats because of the large amounts of blood being pumped. Frequently, the rest of the crew would break for lunch and forget about the 3 of them under the floor.
Hey guys, that's
we're
like we forgot about down here. Like, we're still down here. We're hungry too.
Can you bring me a sandwich?
All Austin Powers. I'm so badly burnt.
Oh yeah, I'm so badly burnt. I remember that shit.
Shit. I mean that whole scene.
Yeah,
me fucking dying.
While filming the finale, the puppeteers under the floor would get bored and start gluing pictures to John Gett's real foot, or place it in oatmeal. Getz fondly recalls that he should have realized, being unable to move, that he was the perfect target. Can you imagine having to sit there and have a straight face and like know that people are like tickling your foot and like putting stickers on it, sticking your foot in oatmeal, like, and having to be like
Van Damme,
like looking like you're in pain?
Yeah, like, you sons of bitch, knock it off. That's it.
All right.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Remember.
RoboCop.
Let me see it before you read
RoboCop.
it. Let me see it before you read it.
It's not RoboCop.
If it's Saw, throw it back in. Don't let her know.
It's RoboCop.
Bullshit.
It is RoboCop.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's RoboCop.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking draw it.
It's fucking RoboCop.
No, it's
dude.
not.
Yes, it was. It was RoboCop.
Look, you threw it back in.
Too late. You drew it. It's RoboCop. That's
Nope.
what I saw.
Redraw it.
It's RoboCop.
Madison's back next week. It can't be
No,
RoboCop.
she's not.
No, she's not.
Oh.
No, she's not.
It wasn't RoboCop.
It was RoboCop.
It wasn't.
It was RoboCop.
I've been bitching
It's RoboCop.
about it since the
It's
time I've been
RoboCop.
on here. Redraw it. This is going to be fair and square.
All right, fine.
There's a
fine.
lock.
I was
It's a
trying
lock.
to do you a favor, Jeremiah.
What was it actually?
Quiet Place.
That's a good one, dude.
Well, it's too late now. You threw it back
I
in.
threw it back in. It's too late. It's going to be RoboCop now.
This
Watch
son of a
it.
bitch is going to be RoboCop. It's not. Saw 3.
Eric's going to be pissed at
Is
you.
it Texas Chainsaw?
God damn it!
Welcome back.
Number 3.
Fuck you all.
This would
I'm
be The Next Generation, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this
number
one's
3.
fucking terrible.
Uh-huh.
Fuck that movie.
No. Next Generation was the 4th one.
No.
Are you sure?
Next Generation's 3. It's the
Yeah,
third
I'm
one.
pretty sure it's the third one. Hold on.
So what's the fucking 4th one called?
There is no fourth one. The fourth one
No,
is
the 4th one had Matthew McConaughey and Renee
that was
Zellweger.
The Next Generation. That was 3.
Oh, you guys make my brain hurt.
Hold on. I'll look
There
it
is
up.
no fourth one. The fourth one would be the remake.
So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Oh, no. It is Leatherface, the Texas
Yeah,
Chainsaw Massacre
Leatherface.
3.
The Next Generation was the one with Matthew McConaughey. and
Really?
Renee
I didn't
Zellweger.
even know. I've
yeah,
never seen this
so
one.
the
then.
Next Generation is the fourth one.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Third one was
The fuck?
I was with
I've
you. I
seen-
really thought that was the third one.
I've seen it.
I
I
don't-
don't think there's anybody.
I don't think I've ever
famous.
seen this one.
I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
seen this one. To be honest with you, I don't think
Well,
I have.
There you
I don't know.
go.
I don't want to.
I kind of do. 'cause
Maybe
I haven't seen
maybe
it.
you'll like it.
I don't want to. I missed.
Sorry, dude. We already made a deal.
I missed my one.
We already made a deal on the Saw movies. I can't make a deal on the Texas
movies. Did you watch the podcast while you were out?
No, he doesn't watch it. He doesn't watch us while he's gone. He doesn't think about us.
Your buddy over here.
We made a deal.
It's not streaming anywhere.
Go figure.
But I think I own it on DVD.
On DVD?
DVD.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one to find. We made a deal, so we got rid of the second Avatar movie. We're not doing it.
Fucking
in trade for like 7 Saw movies. So we only have to do one more Saw movie, and that's it.
Should have traded. That would have been worth all the rest of the Texas Chainsaw.
No, because the Texas Chainsaw movies.
See, that was why we didn't do it the last time, because he wanted to throw Texas Chainsaw in, I wouldn't relent.
No, I'm not doing that, because I think the Texas Chainsaw movies get better as they go.
And I think it's worth
After
it.
The remake.
I think, yeah. The remake wasn't bad.
The start of the remake.
The remake wasn't even bad.
The first one was good because it was, that gritty.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
girls screaming everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
no. He's talking about the remake.
No. I'm talking
you're
about
talking
the original.
Okay. I don't like the original.
It was gritty.
Terrible.
But they get
like
better, though.
13th because of the kills. So
he's not wrong.
Back off the camera.
So?
Then, we grew up loving the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched it.
And they were like,
not
so much. Yeah.
The third one, it's okay.
I haven't seen it, so I don't fucking know.
I
don't think I've seen it.
I've seen this
from
one.
what I remember, it's okay. And then the fourth one was complete dog shit. And then the remake, I think, with Jessica Biel's.
Yeah.
I like that one.
That was good.
Yeah.
And then,
the one after that, which was, I think, a prequel to the remake.
That one was good.
One, I think.
I think so there was the remake, and then there was
the remake. I think there was a sequel, and I think the third one out of that was a prequel.
Was there a sequel?
I think.
Because I'm thinking that there was a prequel, and then that was it.
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm thinking there was the remake, and then they did a prequel to the remake, which was about those 2 guys trying to dip out of the draft during Vietnam.
It's been so long.
And because I know that what's his name? God damn it! Full Metal Jacket.
Arlie Ermy.
Arlie Ermy is in both
in the prequel. He was in the prequel, but he was in the
remake too.
He was in the remake, and then he was in the prequel one, but he was only in the prequel one for a hot minute, I think. Because I remember him being in the prequel.
No, he was a big part of the prequel.
Well, yeah, because that was the one where they're talking about
You're thinking of 3D. Texas Chainsaw 3D with Alexandria Daddario, where she comes back, realizes that she's his cousin.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one you're thinking of. That takes place in modern day.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. There's so many of these fucking movies. And their timeline is everywhere.
All over the place.
Because there's the remake with Jessica Biel, and then there's the prequel with
Friday the 13th.
Oh, the prequel has the girl from the Fast and the Furious movies. She was also in The Faculty. Darker complected, dark brown hair or whatever. I don't remember her name, but she plays Dom's sister in the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh shit.
She's in the prequel. She plays the one dude, the one of the guys who's trying to dip out on the draft, plays his girlfriend or whatever.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But like those 2 movies, like the remake and that prequel are, in my opinion, are very good.
Yeah, I remember the prequel being good, yeah.
And then even the Texas Chainsaw 3D could have been better. I just thought that the fucking story itself was dumb. And the whole get him cuz, I thought that was fucking retarded. And then after that there was or before that actually there was Leatherface, which was that prequel about them as kids, which was also fucking retarded. That movie was boring as shit.
I don't remember that.
And then there was
I remember when it came out. I remember seeing the trailers and stuff, but I didn't watch it.
I watched it and I thought it was dumb. You gotta pee?
Yeah.
Well, you're telling
We're almost at the end. He's like, I thought that was.
What irritates me the most is the second week I was gone, you guys watched the fucking one movie I wanted to do a review on, and the week I come back to this bullshit.
What movie did we do that you wanted?
Army
to do?
of Darkness, damn it!
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, you even said that. You're like, Eric's gonna be pissed.
I did too. I was like, oh, Eric's gonna be pissed. We loved Army of Darkness, though, didn't we, Karen?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, next week we're doing. Forgot already.
Fuckerface.
Leatherface.
No, not Leatherface.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw.
Leatherface. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Fuck your
again.
face.
Yeah, fuck your face.
This movie's called Leatherface.
Yes.
It's called Leatherface: The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Oh, okay. Leatherface: The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Look at me.
Don't ask me why we're doing it. I think it's I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
I don't think I have.
I don't think I have, honestly.
I know I haven't seen all the Texas Chainsaw.
I've seen all of them except for apparently this one.
Can we give negative ratings? Just
Yeah.
curious.
You can.
You never know. You might go into this movie like this actually wasn't that bad. I know after the Next Generation they get better.
I have not been,
because even the newest one that came out on Netflix was good. I liked it a lot actually.
I
a
didn't
lot of
see
people,
that one
a lot of
either.
people hate it. I'm like, why do you hate this movie?
I hear
it's exactly what you want out of a fucking Leatherface movie. He's chainsaw. He's hacking people up. It's fucking gory. It's fun.
Do you want people to just stand there and like get stabbed? Like
no,
in
I
Friday
just don't
the
want to hear
13th
somebody
movies?
screaming for 20 goddamn
That's
minutes.
all they do in the Friday the 13th.
They either
Run into the
stand
woods
there
and like,
and get stabbed,
or they get fucked and get stabbed.
Or they get fucked and get stabbed, or they fall into the mud
20 damn times
and crawl instead of getting back up and going, no.
It's so
Sorry.
dumb. Anyway, till next week, we love you all, and don't forget to check out all our socials and all that down there. Oh, fuck me, this is gonna be whatever, man. Just come check us out on Discord. We'll talk about it down there. Anyway, till next week, we went way over. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.